All right. Hello, everybody. David Pugs, welcome in. So yeah, we're just gonna be continuing with Zenless today. Don't have a lot of news necessarily, other than next Monday, or I guess this Monday, we will be having a special collab stream. More news on that to come, but it'll be Chloe, Miss Val Kitty, and potentially Shantae, depending on what her work schedule is. But it should be a lot of fun. Should be some goofy shenanigans, and we're looking into maybe finding a way to get all of you in on the action as well, to be able to do Twitch commands and such. So, yeah. With all that being said, other than that, we got special events on the 27th and 28th. 27th being the collab stream with Mad Hatter. And probably also I will be on Naren's stream for a bit that night, because it's also Naren's Twitch anniversary. So everyone's going to be hanging out for a little bit there. And then the 28th is the secret unannounced collab with Mari and some other people. But there will be more of that to come. So, with that being said, let's hop in. Alright, just finishing a good scene with Jennifer Sunbell as Megumi in Rurouni Kenshin. Then we'll turn on the volume. Right on. Alright. Let's get back to it.
Master, it's this direction. If we enter the hollow from here, we should be able to track him down. By the way, about your sibling.
She's already gone home.
That's good to hear. Worry not. I'll ensure your safety at all times within the hollow.
Is it? Oh. Yeah, if you guys remember how I said there's a tornado watch. Just got a notification on my phone being like, hey, there's a tornado watch. So, if randomly the stream cuts out and dies, that's probably what happened, is the power went out. But tornadoes aren't as big of a deal as they seem. I've lived here a long time, and when the tornadoes come through, it's very rarely done a lot of damage, you know? It's never done damage to anybody I know personally, anyway. What's up, Vulcan? Tiago? Welcome in.
I hope it won't come to that. But how it actually goes depends on his attitude. Master Proxy, if you're ready, let's enter the hollow now.
What's up, Remnant? Welcome in. Interested in chatting the philosophy of this, especially since Zeus started dropping Greek mythology. Oh, Zeiss.
Hugo really is here.
It's weird to be playing as just Lycon.
He would often choose routes that were difficult to attack, yet easy to defend.
Oh, and the butler. God damn.
Master Proxy, the layout of the
Butler's strong.
Ethereals may jump out from any corner.
He annihilated those with that pancake.
Do be extra careful. There are so many Ethereals.
So,
Seem to be phasing him at all.
I haven't played that much of Lycon. Is there, like, a better strat?
Oh, I am loath
Or
to
are you
admit
just supposed to
that man
hold
is quite formidable.
do his ice attacks all the time? Yo, he uses a briefcase like Nicole? protect, he attack, but most importantly, he's the goodest doggo. Indeed. He literally just kicks. Yeah, but I didn't know if it was like, should I just, should I always hold the button, or should I do his, like, normal kick sometimes, too? I don't know if there's, like, a defense or an offense reason to do one or the other. Seems weird, but they have Butler Boo to do the majority of the damage for Lycon. It is a little weird.
He really went to great lengths to block our path. But don't worry, once we find the specific container console, we'll be able to repair it.
For me, his moveset could have been cooler. Yeah, I would have liked for him to have a little more like Sanji from One Piece
spending money always feels
kind of
so
action.
good.
You know, like I like when my favorite move of Sanji's is when he's doing a handstand and spinning, you know? I think that's super cool. Shantae, thank you for the tier 1 8 months. 8 months, that's a long time. That is almost a whole baby. This channel is going to be very heavy on the babies next month. I'll tell you that. Hold until the animation finishes, then let go and hold again. Right, I just didn't know if there's ever a reason to just tap instead of holding. Because I know, like, it does assault damage instead, but, like, I don't know why you'd want to do that, I guess. Still wish a little claws. Yeah, or like a bite, you know? Oh, I see. All right. There's a lot of landmines here.
Careful, or you'll get hurt. Cancer. I'm not going to let you have your way. Master Proxy. That's one of Hugo's weapons. Make sure to avoid it.
What, landmines?
It may look like a coin, but it's actually a dart. He's extremely familiar with this place.
Hugo invaded Vietnam back in the 70s. He's
Master
responsible
Proxy,
for all those
dragging this
landmines.
out will only be to our disadvantage. Let's proceed through here post-haste.
Hit him with the pancake.
The mechanism here isn't damaged. It's still functioning normally.
Doesn't matter, he's a werewolf butler and therefore top 3 favorite
Something's not
character.
right.
It's for me on that alone.
It feels too easy, almost as if...
Yeah, I mean, he's got a cool design. He was
purpose.
definitely one of the ones that caught my attention before release. I find it funny that robotic legs do less damage than a pancake. Hey, it's a dense pancake, you know? His legs are lightweight aluminum pancakes made with the heaviest flour in New Eridu.
We played right into his hands. He's taken the opportunity to run off again.
Lycon, don't lose to him.
I'm terribly sorry. I will catch up to him. If I'm not mistaken, the direction Hugo just escaped to should be the area above where we first entered this hollow. Master Proxy, let's hurry and catch up.
This must be the right way.
I also find it so
Master
weird that
Proxy.
he's got all these Final Fantasy belts on his
You'll be
tail
able to
for no
catch up to him
reason.
soon.
Also, the mines are a heart. Oh, I didn't even notice. Classic Hugo.
Master Proxy, repair this console as you did before. Hugo hasn't gone far yet.
It should be this way.
Lycon pauses momentarily. In the distance, a group of heavily armed figures emerge.
Are they from the auction? No, they shouldn't be able to track Hugo here. They're likely just hollow raiders.
Hugo's still on his bizarre adventure. Hugo's still on his bizarre Phantom Thief adventure.
Back then, Hugo would typically retreat into a hollow after securing the goods.
He can explode me with those bombs. I'm kidding, I'm not that down bad. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, if it was, you know, if it was lighter, it wouldn't be a joke. We know that, but if it's anyone but lighter, of course, just a joke.
And as his partner, I'd be responsible for leading the pursuers astray.
Let's not get crazy now, you know.
I'm unsure if he has a partner now, or who they might be if he does.
He was alone the entire time when he approached us before.
I see. That's good. It means he must be carrying that core himself. Regardless, Master Proxy, let's steer clear of those hollow raiders for now. Although I'm confident in my ability to defeat them, a clash here might delay us and jeopardize your safety. Our main focus now is locating Hugo and retrieving the gem.
Hugo's last surprise. Hugo's definitely the type to pull a prank on Valentine's Day. Yeah, Hugo seems like he would do something like that shitty thing people do sometimes where they're like, ignore you the whole day on your birthday or Valentine's or your anniversary or whatever, and then at the end they have like some big thing planned, so then the person's like really pissed the whole day, and then they're like, oh, he does care, you know? But I don't know, that it feels like setting yourself up for just misery that way, you know? Like, nobody wants to be like, wow, I guess they don't give a shit about me. Oh, surprise, they do. Wow.
Evade, now!
Pancake, go!
Stay calm now. Stand still. He should be nearby.
This is a big chapter for people who enjoy the sniffing aspect of furry characters. Lycon's been doing a lot of sniffing.
Long time no see, traitor.
Oh shit. Well, there's the claws.
You who broke the oath, not me.
You haven't changed, pompous and self-righteous.
What the shit? He uses like a pickaxe? Not what I would have expected.
You're beyond reason.
Both of you, enough already!
Master Proxy,
Wise could have died
are you all right? Master
so easy
Proxy? Any
there.
injuries?
Oh my god, dude. I remember this episode of Twilight. Yeah, this was in the middle where Jacob and Edward were still fighting. Man, I hate Twilight, and I've seen every movie. And I mean, There's just so much shit in those movies that sucks. It was a cool cutscene though. Super weird that he's using a pickaxe scythe thing. So not what I expected from him. I don't know, man. I thought I might pull for Hugo, but like I don't necessarily want a scythe weapon, you know? I mean, I guess he might play fine, but I don't know. So many people use swords, and I feel like a scythe is like kind of just a sword, but longer, you know? Also, welcome in, Valviant. Good to see you again. What a fucking ruby-ass weapon. Definitely give chocolate with laxatives in them to a person he knows. He would do something weirder, I think. Like, he would do that and be like, oh, how gauche. How crude. But then, you know, doing something like, he would put like hot sauce in chocolates or something. And with that goofy ass hat, that goofy scarf, that snatched waist, and that horrendous ponytail. Aw, no, you gotta love the rat tail. What's up, Lexi? I prefer katanas over a sword. It depends on the sword, for me. Katanas are cool, but objectively they are one of the shittier types of sword you can have. I don't know. There's cooler swords out there than katanas. But like a unique looking katana is pretty cool too. Like Mugen from Samurai Champloo. His sword has like these cool little like devil horns and like a white gold handle. I always thought that would be a cool one to have like a replica of. Hello, Brandon. Welcome in. Seal got power crept again and not even in their own game.
Spending money
Got 'em.
always feels so good.
Yo, Brandon, thank you for the Prime sub. 8 months. 8 months, bro. Only one more and we'll have the channel's first stream, baby. That's right. It's gonna be a big month for the next one. As stream mommy, I'm gonna have so many children to deal with, you know? I mean, I wish Lycon fought like Slayer. I don't know what Slayer you're referring to. Get ready for that stream child support. Listen, I'm gonna be a deadbeat mom. And you don't hear a lot of those, but I can't afford that. Fuck them kids. From Guilty Gear. Okay. I was playing Guilty Gear Strive. That's the only one I've ever really played, so I don't think Slayer was in the game when I was playing, if he's in it now. I think I saw Lycon coat his hand in ice. Yeah, he definitely did. He had it like, you know. So, I guess the ice powers must just be something he can do. I thought it was tied to the legs, but I guess not. It's a newer DLC character. Ah, okay.
I'm fine. I just forgot I wasn't using EOS. I thought your attacks would just go over my head. I'm not used to being this tall, I guess.
So already, it's a mistake to have Wise here in his physical form instead of being inside of Eos.
Rest assured, manager, my blade has always been steady. I'll never point my weapon at my allies, especially not you. As for that oaf, he has no sense of control in the heat of battle, even turning on his own comrades.
This really is Twilight. Wise is just Belle, or Bella. And we got the wolf and the vampire fighting over him.
I'd thank you not to spread lies.
It'd be really funny if they got super catty. Like, he's like,
I see you still spread lies as easily as you spread your legs. Whore.
What? Are you denying it? I merely spoke the truth.
Bella. Yeah, I mean, I legitimately said Belle, forgetting that her name is Bella in Twilight, and I was like, I mean, it's basically the same.
At that moment, the Hollow Raiders you encountered earlier close in on you.
Oh, do I get to try out the new twink? Cool.
Thought we were in for a tough day, but it seems we struck gold in the end.
Imagine this motherfucker. He comes into the scene and sees like a BDSM wolf standing with a suited up vampire, and he's like, "Oh, this'll be easy. Let's take him down." I'd be like, "Yo, we should go somewhere else. These guys are freaks."
If you value your lives, you better hand
You're gonna
over
get in
all
trouble.
your etheric resources and any other valuables you've got.
I have no conflict with you gentlemen. I'm here for personal reasons, not to mine ether resources.
Cut the crap. It's been a rough day, and we need something to make it right. Whatever your business is, pay your dough or bite the dust.
Pay our dough. This is the Hollow. You're not claiming this Hollow as your own, are you? Not even the current mayor of New Eridu would dare to make that assertion. Am I correct, Mr. Mayflower Watchdog?
You sure have a mouth on you, pretty boy. Don't push it. We've buried idiots like you in the Hollow before, and soon you'll be joining them.
I doubt you have ever fought anyone like either of these two characters.
I'd urge you to reconsider.
Huh?
Unfortunately, your kind advice has come too late.
Nani? Falcon Hane has a little more ferocity. The other werewolf butler, who's in blaze blue but also is dignified. I guess the werewolf butler thing must be Falcon Hine, okay. It must be a little bit more common to have a werewolf butler than I thought. Wait, what's going on? Wait. What's the deal with the deleted messages and the timeout? What's going on here? If you wanna DM me on Discord, what's going on with that? That's curious.
They've already worn my patience thin.
Am I the only one that hopes the mayor gets his own faction of agents? The mayor's hit squad. Hugo swiftly deals with the Hollow Raiders. Aw, I don't get to play as him? Alright.
Scared? Then perhaps you should think twice before you act. You've made your bed. Now lie in it.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Please have mercy.
Wait, I didn't realize it was the big guy who has that voice.
Spare us! We won't do it again!
Are you quite done blowing off steam? Don't kill them. I'll hand them over to public security once we're out of...
Who do you think you are to tell me what to do? They weren't planning to show you any mercy, yet you forgive them so easily.
Well, yeah, dude, it's like a 5-year-old trying to fight a grown man. What do you, like... What do you mean?
You haven't changed at all over the years, Lycon. To hell with you and your foolish fantasies of being some almighty savior.
I hope they add a farmable material so characters can use their void skill set. think that was the same VA for Mr. Mole from Soldier 11's Agent Story. Sounds very similar. Yeah, it could be. I mean, they do use other VAs for other NPCs and stuff. I've played a number of NPCs in the cutscenes or in the story just because I was already in for a session, and they were like, we got like 15 minutes left, let's throw you some extra lines. Kind of like playing Ellen without her void set. Oh yeah, where she got the like Getsuga Tensho thing. Yeah, that was sick. I also would like for her to have that because I don't love the way she plays currently. Same with Billy. Like, I like Billy, but he's not as strong as I would like him to be. And with his two like slower shot versions, I like that a lot more.
Haven't you learned your lesson from what happened with your eye and legs?
And you can spam her AoE. Yeah. Does she just fight like that Naruto villain? Which one?
My principles remain unshaken. No one has the right to take another's life.
Sinners deserve punishment. Do you know how many lives they've taken?
The shark guy. Oh, Kisame? Not really. She fights basically the same as normal, except like she swings the sword and it sends out like an ice wave. No, Getsuga Tensho's from Bleach. That's what Ichigo always uses. That's his one special move. I think it translates to like half moon something or other, or crescent moon something. But yeah, it sends out like a slice in the air.
I'm merely delivering the justice the world needs.
It is not our place to pass judgment.
We got Thanos over here, man.
I know I will not sway you. There's no point in continuing this argument. I will stop you. I always will.
Go ahead and try. I will defeat you. I always will. Be prepared to kneel before me, traitor.
Time to hunt. You talk too much.
You talk too much, and your hair is terrible.
Jesus. Can't even see what's going on. Didn't Wise just jump in to stop this? Why is he now just like...
I'd advise against
whatever.
trusting anyone from the Mayflower family.
Do you two have to fight?
It's my apologies, dear manager, but I'm itching to teach him a lesson.
Shut up. Answers. This power.
Your counter ain't shit compared to Ben. I like that, like, he's like, you can't stop me, I'm the best, and then he, like, takes a little damage, and he's just like, ah, fuck, and just jumps off the roof. Alright, what's going on here? Moonfang Heaven Piercer. Right, that's what I meant. Her new final slash gives her a dodge. Giving Hugo a parry is wild. I mean, I like the parries. They're satisfying. Of all the VAs who play this game, I can tell you're the most skillful. Well, that's appreciated. It's good to know all the video games I've played over the years aren't for nothing. Welcome in, Ken. Nice to see you again. Hugo sounds like Asterion. What's up, Hud Blanco? Yeah. I mean, it's I could see that. He's just doing that same kind of like, yes, I'm a noble and I'm flamboyant sort of voice.
Worry not. Mastery of my skills will come in time. But there's something more important I would like to teach you. Something about faith.
The hell is this?
Does a phantom thief even need faith?
Of course. What else would we fight for?
For wealth, fame, and power to stand at the top, so nothing and no one can imprison us. Isn't that what everyone desires? Or perhaps by faith, do you mean something asinine and empty, like justice, dreams, or friendship?
I know they keep talking about, like, oh, Hugo lost his way. He didn't used to be like this. But based on this cutscene, he pretty much was always like this.
Hilarious. Grow up, Lycon. It's time to let go of your naive fantasies of being some almighty savior.
It's also funny that, you know, he's objectively, like, doing the wrong thing. But Wise and Bell are like, I don't know, he seems cool to me. He did buy us some cool stuff, so, like, how bad could he be, you know?
You just don't get it.
Like, you'd think Lycon would just be like, bro, he took my legs and my eye. Assuming that's what happened, or, you know, whatever, but be like, no, they're like real criminals. Don't fuck with them.
All right, enough squabbling. What I'm trying to teach you is very simple. I may not walk the path of justice, but I do not walk the path of evil.
Playable bad guy. Your Jane complaints are answered. Yeah. I think it's cool to have a playable bad guy. It's just weird that the main characters are like, can you guys not fight? Like, I know you have, like, differences or whatever. And it's like, no, he's genuinely, like, a criminal. He just sold his legs on the black market. Hey, we've all thought about it. You know how much you can get for a kidney? You get 100,000 plus. I've thought about it. Sell my kidney. Down payment on a house. Not bad.
There's too much injustice in this world. And there are times when it becomes necessary to right those wrongs with unconventional methods.
Pulchra is that too, but she's just a mercenary. Yeah, Pulchra I don't consider as much of an out-and-out bad guy, just because if it were not like a shonen-inspired sort of anime-styled game, the people out in the outskirts of the desert wouldn't all just be like the good guys, you know? So that would be more of like a Mad Max, like, I'm trying to survive, doing my best kind of situation. But she's technically a villain just because the Sons of Caledon are like the weirdest, most noble biker gang who's ever existed.
Taking lives, however, is out of the question. Life is a precious gift, one that nobody has the right to steal. No one should have the authority to judge whether another lives or dies. Keep that in mind.
I will.
You don't seem convinced, Hugo.
As you mentioned, this world is unjust.
But Pulchra's with them now. Yeah. What's up, Geo? We're also a criminal. Nicole uses illegal ether weapons on the roads. Yeah, I mean, what Wise and Bell are doing seems less criminal just because it feels like they're torrenting, like, movies to me, you know? Like, it's like, oh, it's illegal, and I'm like, yeah, is it though?
That's why we must strive to bring fairness to this world. Those who cause harm should face consequences, just as those who take lives should. But not all lives hold the same value. Sometimes, you may need to eliminate one if it means saving more.
And the mayor's on our side. Yeah, exactly.
You're too proud.
The
Your
mayor,
pride may lead you astray.
the cops, the super special secret cops. Pretty much everybody.
I have my own path and beliefs, Jack. I'll determine for myself what's fair and unfair.
Wise and Bell are criminals just like the Straw Hat Pirates. Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, watch your mouth. If it weren't for Jack, you'd be dead already.
Noble criminals.
You're a smart kid, Hugo. Skilled too. You could easily take the life of a sinner. However, what if one day you found out you were wrong? What if that so-called sinner were innocent?
Guess the less cool cops would arrest
Would you
us,
bring them
though.
back to life?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that they'd be able to, really, but... It's, maybe that robot cop with the tall, like, soda can head would try and arrest us.
I wouldn't make that mistake.
Why do people think that in order for there to be peace, others had to go bye-bye? Well, because to some degree there will always be people who want things that exist in direct opposition to the wants and needs of other people, so when you're left with that, and there's no compromise, the only option is one of them has to go, you know? At least in the minds of the two sides. Obviously, just leaving each other alone would be the better option, but... what's up, crony? Enjoy the lurk.
To err is human. Everyone is bound to make mistakes.
But I'm not human, I'm a vampire.
It's good you are open with your thoughts. I just don't want your troubled past to weigh you down. Because your hatred doesn't define you.
I'm very curious to see what Jack looks like. Just this boot is not enough for me to get a good idea of him.
Are you okay, Lycon? You've been quiet for a while.
My apologies, Master Proxy. I was just reminded of some past memories.
Jack is just the boot. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if they're all based off of, like, stuff like vampires and werewolves and all that, maybe he's Jack of Jack and the Beanstalk. You know? He's a boot Thyron. That would be fucked up if you could just be born as a shoe.
Before Hugo and I founded Mockingbird, we had a mentor, Jack. He took us under his wing when we were in dire straits, imparting his skills and life lessons. But Hugo didn't agree with his viewpoints. Perhaps our paths were always fated to diverge.
Yeah, I mean, when he, from the start, is like, hey, if somebody's a sinner, I'll kill him. Like, yeah, he's probably gonna diverge on that. At least they actually delivered on the Lycon story. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to know more about it, for sure.
I've been curious for a while now. What caused you two to split?
I think Lycon should have been a rabbit. Maybe we'll get the playable version of the arcade girl. You know? I don't remember her name, but she runs the arcade. She's a rabbit.
Mockingbird, faced numerous triumphs, but also setbacks.
I want a playable character that's just a rabbit. Not a rabbit Thyron, just like a literal, like, little wild bunny, you know? Can be like Monty Python, where the rabbit's jumping around killing everyone.
And one of them was a disastrous one. Hugo. You... Is this you? All this?
So what if it was?
Have you gone crazy? Have you been planning this all along?
Henry forgot to mention Eric Meyer left his VO agency because of an AI role, but he said, my integrity's more important than a paycheck. I was so moved by that. Yeah, I mean, you always have to... You have to have your beliefs and stand by them. For sure.
You'd bury all these lives in the name of vengeance?
They deserve to die. Especially my so-called father. I should have killed him a long time ago. A really long time ago. You know what, Lyca? There's some people whose only purpose in life is to bring more suffering into this world. Sometimes murder is what brings justice back into this world. And for that, I must stain these hands in blood.
It's funny that this is the guy that the proxy's like, hey, can you guys not fight? He's like kind of my new friend.
Enough! I can't trust anything you say anymore. I'm leaving Mockingbird, now!
Where are you going?
Anywhere. Someone from the Mayflowers got in touch with me before.
Are you mad? You know what those hypocrites in city administration are like. They're no different from tops. We fought them together all this time, and now you're leaving to serve as their lapdog. Are you going to turn your back on Mockingbird? Turn your back on me?
The mayor is different from the others. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to even try convincing you.
Bro's literally sitting in a pool of his parents' blood, and he's like, what are you upset about this? You're mad at me? You're gonna not be friends with me anymore? What the fuck?
As your friend, I'll give you one last piece of advice.
The way they use the word dog.
Stop here.
Yeah. Some of the most toxic yaoi I've ever seen. This is like irradiated yaoi.
Otherwise the day will come where your hatred and ambition will consume you. My apologies, Master Proxy, that you had to hear such an unpleasant tale. Hugo came from a powerful family, and his relationship with them was always strained, especially with his own father. So much so that Hugo wanted to personally put an end to him.
I don't think you can just say it's strained, so he killed him. Like, I mean, you've got to have a pretty good reason to want to murder somebody.
After shouldering a mountain of injustice, Hugo ran away from home. That's when Jack and I met him.
Wonder how dog thyrans feel about dogs. Oh, I feel like it's gotta be like in Mickey Mouse with like Goofy and Pluto, you know, where it's like this weird thing where it's like they're both dogs, but one of them gets treated like a person and the other one doesn't. So they just don't talk about it. They just ignore all that. Just don't worry about it, you know? Although, by the way, speaking of, if you guys have Disney Plus, check out, there's two different series. One is just called, like, Mickey Mouse Shorts, and the other one is, The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse, or something like that. Genuinely super funny, like, amazing animation, like, just really, really great. It won a ton of awards, like, I don't typically watch media made for kids because, in general, I think it's not usually my cup of tea. But even that, I was like, this is just, like, great classic humor, you know? Is it when they look like classic Disney? Yeah, kind of. 2D or 3D? It's 2D animation. Let me see. I can probably find it. Just so you guys know specifically what I'm looking at. Okay. Yeah, this is that's the picture of what it looks like on Disney, but it's super good. Should all watch it for a movie night. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad one. I would have to find a way to torrent it, because, you know, Disney and all the other streaming services, they just don't want you to be able to stream anything, so they make it difficult. Goofy was so unhinged in the shorts. He genuinely is. Like, that's the funniest part of those shorts, is they make everybody crazy in them. Like, they gave Minnie, like, a crazy temper where she's, like, beating people up at the supermarket, and Goofy becomes, like, a zombie at one point. It's like, they just go nuts with it, but it's so good.
And that setback that Mockingbird suffered turned out to be intimately connected to his family. I had thought it was just a normal mission, when in fact he was plotting revenge. He took advantage of me and everyone else there.
Remember when Mickey lost his ears? I do.
I do not mean to pass judgment on him.
Didn't he also
and
lose his
decision,
shadow?
But I refuse to accept a partner who is willing to trample over other people's lives for their own desires.
Mickey lost a lot of shit over the course of that show.
Perhaps his family left a mark on him that continues to influence him to this day. In any case, Hugo still has the sacrifice core. We should contact the mayor to plan our next moves.
The call goes through immediately.
A pleasure to speak with you again. Lycon has already filled me in on Mockingbird stealing the sacrifice core.
What made you want to watch it? So I went on a trip to Disney World. First and only time I'd ever been. And I was staying with the person I went with. Their family had like the Disney Vacation Club thing where you get to stay at one of their properties and, you know, all this other stuff. So, after a super long day in the parks, everybody's exhausted, everyone's feet hurt. It's, you know, one of those trips. You know, there's like one bathroom, so everybody has to rotate through to shower. And on the TV in the room, they had just various Disney Channel kind of shows. So there's like actual Disney Channel, there was like a Disney Channel movies, and then one of them was playing just the shorts. And so we just turned it on to have like something to do while we were waiting for the shower to be open. And yeah, we just started watching them, and I was like, these are genuinely really funny. Like, they're really good. So we watched a lot of them. That's how we would finish like every day at Disney while we were there, was laying in the bed watching that. And then when we got done and went home, we looked on Disney Plus to see if it was like available, and it was. So I was like, all right, well, I enjoyed them. They're like 5 minutes long, so it's pretty simple to commit to that. So yeah, we just kept going. And they're all really good. I like a lot of them.
I'll deal with it.
Anything else we can do to help? I mean, we didn't manage to complete our mission.
No. You've done well. It's just not appropriate for you to get involved in what's to come.
What does that mean?
We've been through far more dangerous situations. Plus, we've dealt with Mr. Mockingbird before, so
Lacking
maybe
a
we
clear
can help you.
mission and soul, unlike Wish.
Really, I appreciate your kindness. It's just... Very well. Seeing as you're all people I know I can trust, I'm going to be frank.
I like how Wise is like, we've been through so many things, it's fine. And it's like, yeah, you went through those things when you were a Bang Boo who could get destroyed. Now you're just you, and if either of the two people had decided not to stop attacking, you would have just died.
Not long ago, I received a letter declaring criminal intent.
Sir.
Lycon, I know you don't want to place them in
Criminal
danger.
intent.
I feel the same way. However, I believe they deserve to know the truth. That letter threatened to use a sacrifice to take vengeance against the entire city of New Eridu.
Wish lacked it, Mickey Mouse clear vision. Yeah, I get what you're saying. And honestly, just as a fan of like animation, the things they did were so creative. Like they fully use 2D animation and everything that comes with it to like, you know, the absolute extent of what it can do. Like it's incredible. Isn't it without voice acting? No, they have voices for the characters. Some of them they don't talk in. A lot of the ones where he's like visiting another country, he either doesn't talk or doesn't talk very much. Because when he's in those countries, he speaks the languages. And like, obviously the guy who's doing the voice doesn't know all of those languages. So, you know, he'll say like a little bit and then mostly silent. Poor Eos, he won't get random hugs and kisses anymore. Well, there's always Grace.
What do you mean by vengeance?
So is it the classic Mickey? I mean, it's an updated design, but it's very reminiscent of the, like, rubber hose type cartoons.
I believe the person, or the organization, who sent the letter is planning to use the sacrifice to mount a large-scale attack against the city. Everything we've uncovered so far seems to support this hypothesis. As you know, the sacrifice's true power is a mystery and cannot be controlled. If anyone attempts to use it as a weapon, this is no small issue. If this gets out, it'll send the public into a panic. Please promise me you'll keep things confidential.
Whatever.
Then let us help out. We can do our part too.
Yeah, we'll keep it secret.
Like I said before, it'll be too dangerous for you. Whichever way you look at it, you're still citizens of New Eridu, and as mayor, it's my duty to protect you.
So far, we don't know if our Evangelion theory's right by the end of Part A. It's like... the mayor's like, I have to protect you. And it's like, oh, okay, well, why don't I call all of the cops and Hollow Raiders and Void Hunters I know? Wonder how everyone moved after the Hollow disaster that destroyed Eridu, considering Eridu and New Eridu separated by a chasm. A very long ladder. You know, just lay it across like they do at Everest.
Plus, Carol would be furious with me if I put you in danger. If she were still around. Anyway, I'm not at liberty to discuss this matter any further. Please rest assured that we will handle things properly as the administrative authority of New Eridu.
That's right, Master Proxy. Please trust us.
So that'll be all for today. Goodbye for now.
All right. Wise, although the mayor and Lycon seem reluctant to let us get involved in this matter, we can investigate on our own. That's right. If the warning letter's true, this is a major issue concerning the safety of New Eridu. Sacrifice, Exaltist, Bringer, there might be a deeper secret behind all of this, and it could even be related to our teacher. No matter what, we can't just sit back and do nothing. But before that, let's make time to go over our tactics properly. For now, let's call it a day. Feels like too much has happened. By the way, Wise, did you notice? Hugo's Mockingbird disguise seems to be just a mask. Okay, so even in universe, they're like, this fucking idiot. That sounds a lot like a certain classic character's glasses. Alright, no more jokes. Let's take some time to rest. That the sacrifice might be Kaleda's father, but some sort of parent. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense why her dad seems to have just disappeared after they found, like, bullet holes in the mech he was in. After a sweet, refreshing sleep, you feel reinvigorated.
Wise, let's discuss how we're going to investigate the Exaltists. Yeah, that's what I think too. The Commissioner's hasty closure of the case seems a bit suspicious. We should definitely find Zhu Yuan and get more information first.
I'll go investigate at PubSec.
Alright, I'll leave you to it then. I'll also gather some information on the internet. Take care and come back soon, Wise.
Yeah, well, also run the video store. Finally, my headache's gone. That's good. I had a crazy headache yesterday.
Work overtime to finish this mission report. You're here.
Oh, it's you. What can I do for you?
I wanted to ask about Bringer.
You saw the news, I'm sure. The Commissioner closed the case citing personal misconduct. I already found it strange and wanted to investigate further, but there's been a lot of obstacles. It's as if there's a hidden force that doesn't want me to get involved in this matter any further.
Sounds suspicious. Vulcan's back from breakfast with pancake. Ah, inspired by the butler boo, eh? I like to think that their eye implants give them the ability to actually not be a visual idiot, unlike every other NPC that can't see it's obviously just Astra wearing glasses or Hugo wearing a mask. That makes sense, that their eyes would be like, why can't other people see this? It's like, oh, 'cause you have special magic eyes.
As far as I know, after the case was closed, the items left behind by Inspector Bringer were all sent to Hollow Special Operations for processing. However, those items have already been screened within the Bureau, and there's nothing suspicious about them. If you're still worried, you can also go there later and ask. Also, my colleagues at PubSec. Most of us have worked with Inspector Bringer to some extent, so they might know something. I'd love to investigate with you, but I've been busy lately. There's an organ trafficking case recently, and some other odd missing persons cases as well.
Wise is like, organ trafficking, you say. Yeah, no, that's a weird one. I wouldn't know anything about that. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta make a phone call.
Alright, just let me know if you have any questions.
Hello, how can I help you?
You mean Inspector Bringer? Oh, he's not Inspector anymore. Not very familiar with him, but I did help organize the things he left behind.
Just ordinary things. A notebook, but she couldn't find the notebook. Everything's been sent to Section 6. And now I just talk to the little robot. Hello, citizen. Anything I can help you with? Mr. Bringer, I know. Well, I once caught him in the bathroom secretly recording his to-do list with a tape recorder. That is a weird time to be doing your recording. Thought their eyes would have a mini fairy in them after the update. That sounds like a nightmare. You close your eyes and there's just a sassy AI in there, making fun of you all the time. Probably worried he would forget otherwise. Is human memory really that short? However, if there had been others in the bathroom at the time, Mr. Bringer probably wouldn't have done that. I like that he's like, he probably wouldn't have recorded other people in the bathroom. Because I'm a bang boo that I happen to witness something like this. Hold up, I just realized something. During Chapter 5, Bell and Wise mentioned that Carol was kidnapped by a sacrifice hand. What if there's other members of the Exaltists that have the same eye implants as Bell and Wise through forcing Carol to make more? Did Carol make the implants, or was she just helping the kids deal with the implants? Is there a problem, citizen? Bringer. Wait, you're not a reporter, are you? Oh, good. Bosses told us not to talk about Bringer, probably worried about reporters being careless. I really don't know why he turned out this way. He used to be a good person. Many years ago, after he came out of a hollow, his personality shifted. That operation was successful. He rescued many citizens. Bringer's had memory issues for a long time. Huh. So maybe he got, like, dementia or something from the ether? Or like a stroke? That can cause memory issues and personality changes. Looks like I still need to check the items left by Bringer. They didn't tell me anything special at all, other than, like, he's got a notebook. She definitely made them. It specifically mentioned how she made Eus, and Eus is connected to their eyes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely an option. It could be something like that. It would make sense why she was so important.
You're here. Zhu Yuan has already told me about the current situation. We have already found all of Bringer's belongings. Nothing unusual so far.
A notebook? I don't recall seeing one, but there are a few tape recordings. Our colleagues have already listened to these tapes. They're just routine meeting minutes. Okay. Need to play the tapes again. There shouldn't be any need for that. They've been reviewed. This one's heavier. The weight of this tape is different from the others. Let's take a closer look. She's like, this tape is heavier. Opens it up. It's just a bar of gold. The Chinese cops and the Japanese super secret cops put aside their differences to work together. Yeah, I mean, what a world. After carefully examining the special tape, you discover there seems to be an encrypted message. I see, this must be the reason for its weight. What? Encryption doesn't add weight to... What the fuck are they talking about? I will try to decrypt it. Okay. Imagine that. They're trying to break a decryption, or they're trying to break an encryption in World War II, and they're like, alright, we're on the verge. We just need to beat this guitar hero, and then we'll unlock it. Imagine this being your encryption is just like a really easy rhythm game. They were like, alright, we'll encrypt it with the fire, through the fire and the flames. Nobody can beat that 100%. Then years later, somebody does. You did it. Looks like there's new content. Ah, the tape is so much lighter now that you've broken that encryption. Yeah, come on. I want to hear it.
All right, let's get started.
Cassette that Bringer left starts playing.
I'm probably not getting out of this hollow, but at least this tape recorder still works. Let's say these are my last words. I gave away my anti-corruption equipment to save those civilians, so I'm not in good shape. Unfortunately, we came up against a horde of ethereals right after that. I rushed over to fight them off and tried to save the civilians, but...
Sometimes I wonder if a harder version of that would be the rhythm not matching the circles at all. That would definitely make it harder. Or you could do like a 2-stage one where it's like, you know, the circle's blue and then you have to hit it once to turn it green and then you have to hit it again to actually, like, do it, you know? Like there's a smaller ring on the inside, maybe.
In the thick of all the fighting, I turned back and realized that I was somehow alone. Nobody was behind me. Luckily, I managed to defeat the ethereals, but the wounds and corruption I sustained in doing so should be fatal. I don't mean to cast the blame at all here, and if any of my colleagues ever pick up this cassette, I hope that nobody is ever held accountable.
Especially not Derek, who was supposed to be watching my back.
It's just human nature. It's normal. I just have a few regrets.
So maybe he, like, healed with the ether, and then he just got, he got, like, changed by it, or something.
Oh, what's that over there?
You hear a long, raspy, and creepy noise.
I've seen a miracle.
I bet after we finish the sacrifice plotline, the next one will be about Fairy and the other AI. Take out one big bad, another one rises up. It does feel like we should know more about Fairy, considering it's just like, yeah, Wise and Bell just happen to have the strongest AI who's ever lived in their computer.
Yes, that thing is right. So long as humanity is in constant conflict against the Hollows, we'll never be able to grasp true power. Only by embracing everything. It's the only way.
Aren't there more versions of these super powerful AI? I think there are, but I think Fairy has also been like, I'm the most advanced AI in the world, you know.
Only by embracing this power can everyone survive.
What happened to that plot line? It's for later, I guess.
Oh, Creator, please grant me this.
The room is left in complete silence as the cassette finishes playing. Zhu Yuan in particular looks crestfallen.
Are you okay, Julian? Don't be so down.
Thanks. I'm okay. It's just, even though we had our suspicions, now that everything is out in the open, I can't help but feel a little... Well, at least now I know the reason why he changed.
What did Bringer see during the recording? Whatever it was, he called it a miracle.
So he got like some kind of eldritch experience that opened his mind up and drove him nuts.
I saw the mission report from that incident. Bringer emerged from the Hollow unscathed, completely free from injury or corruption. Plus, I remember him rescuing a few civilians and walking out of the Hollow together with them.
But if that's the case, then it's at odds with the audio we heard. Which one is the true version of events?
They all have their own specialties. Fairy's for searching, another one's for hacking. We don't know what the rest yet. One of them probably for, like, searching porn. Because, you know, there's gotta be an AI for that. If they're developing AIs for something, you know that's the first thing people do with the internet.
It's possible that both are true.
One just for trolling people.
Like if Bringer actually met a real god that completely healed his body and helped him save the others.
Goon Master AI. Exactly.
And that's why his mood changed so much. Why he started believing the Exaltists. Because he witnessed a miracle.
That sounds like a reasonable speculation at this point.
But it still exceeds the limits of what we know.
In any case, it's a clue that ultimately points to the Exaltists. I'll keep pulling this thread and see where it leads.
But Zhu Yuan, if you keep pulling the thread, eventually the sweater unravels. Some words of wisdom. Did I do it right? Do what? Do what right? Whoa, Miyabi looks kind of tall. It's just all her ears. Like, you take away her ears and she's pretty short. Coming ad in 3 minutes, running out of ad snooze. Yeah, don't worry about it. The ads will come as they may. I guess the others have something hollow related, like detecting ether activity 100% accurately.
I've been waiting for you for quite some time.
Could be, could also be. I mean, I feel like the porn one makes the most sense. And then there's probably one for like finding recipes and like skipping through all of the garbage at the start of it, where it's like,
When I'm sad, this is my favorite comfort food. In this recipe, I'll tell you how to, That's the AI I would want the most. Speaking of food, actually, I made Brussels sprouts the other day, and they were pretty bomb. They were pretty easy to make, too.
We meet again, Master Proxy.
So we do, Moaning Myrtle.
I imagine you've already managed to gain some info from the conspirators about some people who wish to use sacrifice to launch an attack on New Eridu.
So you know about that? I only just found out myself.
Because I've been watching you this entire time.
I'd prefer you not say things like that in that voice.
I know many things. But unlike those hypocrites, I'm willing to share info with you to show my sincere hopes of working together.
Getting close to picking a game for the stream again. Push-up time.
I need to find Bringer's belongings.
Wasn't she gatekeeping the other day? She always does. Gatekeep, girl boss, whatever the other shit is. Gatekeep, girl boss, gynecology. Gaslighter, that's right. Vivian's a stalker, confirmed, caught on camera, 4K HD.
Bringer's belongings. Did he even leave anything behind?
Oh, he did. I have complete confidence in my intelligence network.
I just keep feeling like she's gonna ask us to join her in the toilet.
All the more reason for you to work with me. You've probably already guessed, but what Bringer left behind will be crucial for cracking the alleged sacrifice attack.
You know what? I never thought about this, but the ghosts of Hogwarts can go literally anywhere in the castle. Why did Moaning Myrtle choose to live in the toilet? Actually, specifically, she chose to live in the girls' toilet, right? Moaning Myrtle might have been like a not very good person. We'll just say that.
Find it, and we'll finally know what they are after.
Who do you mean by they?
The Exaltists, of course. They're always lurking whenever something related to sacrifice comes up.
Vivian and Astra about to fight for their place on Phaethon's bed. Nah, it'll be Vivian gets Belle and Astra gets Wise.
Actually, the Exaltists and I, we have a bit of shared history. But no more than that until you officially agree to work with me.
All right. I agree to work with you.
I don't know if I should agree to work with her.
Splendid. I like people who don't mess around.
Lekon's gonna show up and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Why do you keep doing this shit? You know? Like, stop working with the evil people.
By the way, might I ask, you're not proficient at in-hollow combat, are you?
No, in fact, I can't fight at all.
No, I can't fight.
As I expected. Not to worry. You're an invaluable proxy. All I require is for you to guide me.
Again, I don't know why he would go there himself instead of just sending in Eos, you know?
I mean, not even my darling Lord Phaethon can fight in the hollows.
Hang on. What did you just say? Your darling Lord Phaethon?
That's right. The best proxy in all of New Eridu. Lord Phaethon. Don't tell me you don't like him.
You might not believe this, but I'm actually Phaethon.
They're all like, oh, he's the best one in all of New Eridu. And I'm like, can you even name one other proxy? Because I can't. No, don't tell her. Nah, man, I'm trying to get laid here. Absolutely, I'm gonna tell it. Walk up, be like, actually, I'm Phaethon. My bed's back there.
You're an outstanding proxy, that's true. But Lord Phaethon's a cut above. No one could ever replace Lord Phaethon.
I don't like her.
But I know how you feel. You're actually one of Lord Phaethon's fans too, aren't you? So he's your biggest role model in life and you hope to become just like him, right?
This is the textbook definition of don't stick your dick in crazy. This would be such a mistake, man.
How should I put this? I'm not really a fan of Phaethon.
I get it. You're ashamed. Because you love him so much.
Jesus
I went
Christ.
through a phase like that once. But it's okay to be brave and admit your love. Thanks a lot.
This is what it's like talking to fans of certain things. Like, you'll be like, yeah, Naruto had some problems. And they're like, no, Naruto's the best thing ever, and you just don't get it. And you're like, okay. Yo, Bicep Lover 69, thank you for the follow. And, you know. Oh, there you go. Just for you.
Relax. I'm with you as you make your journey,
thank you.
fellow fan.
After inexplicably joining Vivian's informal fan club, you listen to her go on about her love of Lord Phaethon for nearly an hour.
Oh my. Once I start talking about Lord Phaethon, I just can't help myself. Look at the time. I suppose that's all for today then. I'll be in touch with more news.
Yo, Tech MOBAs. Thank you for following. Appreciate it. Very much appreciated. Thank you. I was so caught up chatting with a fellow fan that I almost forgot why I'm here. I found out where the remainder of Bringer's belongings ended up. They should be hidden in a hollow in the outer ring. I'll need to make some preparations. Wow, so we're just going to visit everybody today. Because, I gathered the information from my intelligence network, of course. I may look this way, but I've got a pretty impressive job and I know many secrets. She knows many secrets, which she then tells to the people that she's stalking. Which two agents do you think would absolutely hate each other no matter what happens? She made her own merch? That's the only spoiler I'll be dropping. Well, I assume also Anby and Soldier 11 are off the list, because they also canonically... I mean, I guess Anby doesn't hate Soldier, but Soldier hates Anby. Let's see. Who would hate each other? I don't think they would hate each other, but I do think Ellen and what's his name? Anton. I think they wouldn't get along because Ellen would be like, I need a nap, and Anton would be like, no, come on, we gotta lift weights, let's go for a run. And Ellen would be like, you're annoying. And he'd be like, no, come on, we gotta go, let's do it. So I don't think they would get along. But other than that, I feel like most people would be relatively fine with each other. Juyuan and the Sons of Caledon. I mean, have the Sons of Caledon actually done anything, though? Like, I don't know. I feel like for them, like, Juyuan would just be like, I mean, you're out of my jurisdiction. You live on the outskirts of the city where there are no rules. Polka and Seth would never be able to be in the same room without a fight breaking out. Yeah, that's fair. Can't put all those cats together. I must foil the Exaltus schemes. Whatever they're planning, I'll stop them. This time I absolutely cannot... Look, just think of it as my personal beef with the Exaltists. Whatever the case, we're on the same side here. I can't really imagine Vivian saying her personal beef. I think she would say feud or, you know, something. It's getting late. I need to go back and make some preparations. See you in Blazewood. Vivian leaves in a hurry. She seems rather reluctant to discuss her relationship with the Exaltists in detail. Wise, are you sure you want to head straight into the Hollow? Or should we use the old trick and connect to Eos instead? That would be a bit safer. Yeah, it absolutely would be. But if we connect to Eos, Vivian might recognize us. After all, she's our fan. Yeah, that's the hope. If I can be like, yo, Vivian, I wasn't lying, you see. Perhaps now you would like to sleep in my bed, you know? Let's just go in. If you say so, Wise, alright, but if anything happens, you have to stay safe. Even though we can stay in touch at any time, I'll still worry. If anything goes wrong, I'll get back up. Okay. I can't wait until they do an event for this game that's like the desert bus, you know? That game where you just drive through the desert and it takes 4 real hours to get to the destination. But like, for driving out here, you know? Yo, bottle physics. Piper event. Hell yeah. Anby, I didn't expect you to still be wearing that outfit. Ben wouldn't be able to work with Nicole. Her money spending habits alone would give Ben a heart attack. Yeah, that's true. I don't think Ben would hate her or like dislike her. He would just be super stressed out by it.
Proxy, you're here too.
I didn't expect to run into you here.
Anby, you're wearing a different costume.
What are you two doing here? And what's with the new outfit, Amby?
Yeah, Ben would try to help her, and then he'd be like, this is fucked. You have to declare, like, the biggest bankruptcy anyone's ever seen.
I'm here to investigate that incident.
You recall the incident you experienced with Anby and Trigger. The relevant details have been recorded. Okay.
I've recently dug up some clues about the person behind the operation, but my key contact is ultra cautious
I see.
and keeps demanding me to prove my identity.
So this is why we were supposed to play that event or that storyline first, because this is the weird part where it's just like, by the way, if you haven't, go play the tape.
So, to gain her trust, I decided to meet her dressed like this, now that everything is completely finished. This uniform doesn't really represent anything in particular.
Also, the symbol on Anby's outfit in the, like, black mesh part kind of looks like the ZZZ symbol.
For me, it's just another outfit now. We all have to move on someday.
I'm helping her. I want to make sure whoever's behind all this is caught. Ah, and who's this young lady?
Her name's Vivian. I know nothing about her.
This is my friend, Vivian. We're here investigating a few things ourselves.
Amby, one of the Cunning Hair's most powerful members. And Trigger, an Opal Squad sniper.
Whoops.
You know us?
Looks like someone's done our homework. Is it because of the proxy?
Yeah, it's a skewed version of the ZZZ logo.
You two are practically celebrities. And because of my work, I've got loads of info when it comes to anyone with a name around New Eridu.
I see. Seems you're handling your work well.
Let's prepare to enter the Hollow. Unless you have any further questions, we'll be taking our leave now. You're going into a Hollow? Proxy, you plan on going in like that?
What? You don't like what I'm wearing? Nobody told me to dress up. What?
Yeah, that's right. I've recovered quite a bit lately, so I don't need any protective equipment in the hollows.
Huh. Aren't you that lady from before at the auction?
Hello. I didn't expect to see you again, young lady.
Oh, cutscene. Jesus, her nails are long. Oh, kind of a cutscene, I guess.
Vivian, are you alright? You look depressed.
What's wrong, Vivian? Are you feeling all right?
It's nothing. I just drifted off for a moment there. So then, what are you doing here?
Don't worry. I'm not here to scam you. I'm waiting to meet someone.
Don't tell me. You're my contact for intel?
That's me. Ambi from Silver Squad, I presume? Pleasure to meet you. All right. I'm going to exchange some information with Miss Ambi here. So if you'll excuse me.
Who is this lady? Sienna steps to the side with Ambi as they discuss something.
You aren't looking so good. What's the matter?
I can tell you later, but not right now.
Okay,
all
that's
right.
all the information I got for you.
You know, they're very lucky that in this world, people can be born with, like, wild hair colors. Because if she wasn't born with that hair color, the amount of dye you would have to use, I mean, it would be astronomical.
In return, I want you to do something for me. Take me into the Hollow. I left something very valuable inside. I have to find it.
We should not trust this lady.
Seeing as we were just about to go in ourselves, why not join us?
Like, that seems like a rather large coincidence, right? She's like, hey, I need to go into the Hollow, and I just happen to be here at the exact same time as you, and, you know, we ran into each other before, maybe, you know, like, I'd be like, nah, you can go by yourself, we already had this planned. Astronomical. Yes, it's astronomical.
It's fine by me. But didn't you say you were investigating something?
Just don't worry about it, Ambi, alright? You focus on all the horrible shit going on in your life.
Huh? Yeah, there really is no rush. Sure, let's all go together.
It'll be safer with more people, and we'll find your missing item more quickly.
Thank you.
How is it safer with more people if those people can't fight? Like, I don't feel like Sienna's gonna be a good fighter, you know? What if her name was Astra Yuri? What if her name was Astra Yuri and she did all this Yuri all over the place? Yes, welcome in, Tech MOBAs. I did see you followed, but since you just chatted, welcome in. Bait their bait for the ethereals. Yeah, I suppose so. Proxy, do you believe in fate? Nah. I see, that sounds just like something you would say. Proxy, I actually... No, it's nothing. Let's hurry and head into the Hollow. It's funny how often that happens in anime stuff, where someone will be like, I just want you to know... No, actually, never mind. Like, I would be like, no. Now that you've done that weird shit, why don't you just tell me?
Ether vision activate. Here. Can't catch me.
Shoot the other guy.
Sound strategy.
Keep up the...
Huh, so she's using her umbrella, but like a spear, sort of. Interesting.
Adjusting for wind.
Jiggle after every shot, Jesus. Yeah, I mean... Look, I try not to focus on the jiggle physics too much in this game, but... I mean, they went absolutely nuts with Trigger.
Now it's my turn to ask questions.
Like, just watching her walk, it's fucking crazy. Every single step. It's nuts.
Since you're familiar with the name Silver, then you should know that it shouldn't exist anymore.
This feels like a secret place. Oh, just a different way to go, I guess.
What I'm investigating has something to do with it.
Trigger auto dodges while in her firing mode. Okay, that's cool. Evening. Evening, Thaddeus. Welcome in. Fun fact, her sniper's a sword and 2 guns in one. Yeah, I saw that. Somebody pointed out she can, like, disconnect the handle there, and it's a pistol.
My bullets are one with the wind.
Right on cue.
Ow.
Keep up the... Recalibrating. Time to pin them down. Time to...
This is certainly an interesting team, because I can't follow what's happening at all, but if I just keep tapping X, it works out totally fine.
Off balance. You're in my sight. A perfect conduit.
Smash to win. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they're all very strong, so
Sound strategy.
I guess I can't complain, but
Let's use that fissure to head to the next location.
in fact, she has an auto dodge during her abilities, but Harumasa doesn't. Is some next level bull. Well, they wouldn't want one of the male characters to be too good, you know. Gotta save it for the waifus.
So, what is it that you're looking for?
A ring. I was excavating ether here before and accidentally lost it somewhere. Please, could you all help me find it? It has to be somewhere among all this stuff here.
So, is Obel Squad, like, part of the new Eridu military, or are they like a PMC? Because they don't seem to be affiliated with the other stuff, but... Blind woman versus cancer patient. It's the fight of the century. Netflix is gonna promote it.
Sure, I'll start looking.
I'll go with you.
I'll stay here with her then.
That's so funny. It's like, alright, I'll start looking, and then Trigger, who can't see, is like, yes, I will also go. I'll help look for the ring.
But you don't have to worry about me. Go ahead and accompany the others. I'm sure it'll be faster that way. And sorry for wasting your time like this.
Yeah, I don't buy this, lady.
I know it might sound strange, but...
You're up to some shady shit.
I'll be so happy if my daughter grows up to be capable like you.
That is strange. That is a strange thing to say to somebody you just met. Do you remember the legendary artist mentioned by the host during the previous auction? When recognized during his lifetime, his works were discovered by art collectors. Sounds like quite the nice story, right? In reality, these art collectors are to blame for his death. Those pompous big shots discovered his talent and even wanted him to craft forgeries of famous works. Someone as proud as him would never agree to such a thing. Not only did he refuse, he also wanted to expose their schemes. And some days later, he suddenly took his own life. Oh, they fucking Epsteined his ass. Yeah, that's always the thing in these stories, is the people who plan to do this are like, you'll never get away with this. I'm going to destroy your crimes and expose you to the world. And it's like, yeah, if you had just been like, sure, I'll get started on the forgeries and then turn it over to the public, at least you get the info out before you die. Obel Squad is a group of soldiers in the Defense Force Obsidian Division. Obsidian Division's the last remaining division of the Defense Force. It's why almost everything inside the Defense Force is black and orange. So they are like the official military, though. They're not like a paramilitary corporation or anything. One day they'll add a unit whose ultimate changes their basic attack and skill/EX skill. Yeah, maybe someday. I knew him. He would never do something like that. Those big shots silenced him. How do you know all this? Because that legendary artist was my husband, Mira's father. Because that legendary artist was Albert Einstein. Exactly are those big shots. It's the Ravenlock family. Matter I just discussed with Miss Anby is also related to them. The collectible you asked me to bid on earlier, I should probably return it to you. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. It's fine. Our bond doesn't need to be anchored to any object, and I don't need these works to remember him. It's much better off in your hands than someone like Hartman's. Proxy, may I speak with her alone? What a weird thing to say. Either, of course, or why? Also, Trigger gotta be the most resilient agent in the game. She doesn't have a shirt or bra covering her chest, it's just a single bulletproof armor plate. Well, you know, maybe she has, like, one of those eye covers, but on her nipples, so they aren't constantly getting chafed. You know? Because I can't imagine it would be comfortable to be just bare skin on one of those bulletproof plates. Alright, regarding the matter of finding the ring, I'm entrusting it to you. It's my wedding ring. I'd be extremely, extremely grateful. Alright. What do we get? You find some food. Something good? Do I really look like I want to eat those leftovers? She does flip a lot now that I think about it. Oh yeah, constantly.
There's leftover food here. I don't want to imagine what's inside the bag.
But Anby, it might be a burger. You like burgers. You could eat it. Suspicious item. I mean, if that doesn't say suspicious, I don't know what does. Find a plush toy. No one would hide a ring inside the stuffing of a toy, right?
A toy that
Don't worry, there's nothing inside.
There shouldn't be a ring.
There's no cocaine like there usually is. Suspicious capybara.
It's pretty cute.
Sus capybara. Trigger's gotta be a test to see how far they can get with risky clothing without getting in trouble. Yeah, the next agent is just gonna be like a naked woman with two tassels and like a plate on her crotch. You find a lunchbox. After bracing yourself, you crack it open and peek inside.
It's a fancy lunchbox?
I don't know why they keep looking inside of things, like...
I wonder if its owner is safe and sound.
Like, dude, she said she lost it. Which means she probably, like, dropped it somewhere. I doubt she was like, yes, I put it inside something and then left it. Especially because if she did put it inside a stuffed animal, you'd think she'd be like, yeah, if you find that stuffed animal, that's where I left it. I demand a lighter skin where it's him shirtless like during his story quest. That'll be he's already an S rank, so they'll do an A rank version of lighter. It's just him shirtless. She said she's looking for the wedding ring, but she also said she doesn't need any objects. We've been searching here for so long and found nothing.
What's wrong, Vivian? You seemed worried for a while now.
I'm worried about Sienna. Her location should still be safe. I hope so.
Supporting position.
I want Caledon's champion version of Billy. If he plays anything like he did in that event where he had like the two slower big guns, I would agree. That would be cool. Shirtless men equals big money. Not compared to shirtless women. By the time you return, you discover Sienna with her eyes closed peacefully.
Her vital signs are gone.
What happened?
What happened is all the people who know how to fight left.
I guess this was her final scam. There's one thing I must remind you.
They did advertise Lighter without a shirt in his song trailer. Yeah, they know. They know their audience. They know how to scam people.
Your time is running out.
Technically, Billy's half shirtless. Billy's totally shirtless. He's just also wearing a jacket.
I'm not sure how you can tell, but you're right. I'm going to die in here. That's my plan. I'm very sick and don't have much longer. If I try to get treatment, it'll just be a burden on my daughter.
Isn't your daughter like 5 years old? What's gonna happen to her? Your husband's dead, you're dying, and you're just gonna leave her? Like, I get you can't stop yourself from dying, but you don't have to purposely kill yourself. And like, did you arrange for her to go to somebody?
So I scammed my way through a bunch of physical exams and managed to take out a hollow corruption policy through Ravenlock Insurance. Once some time has passed, could you please take my corrupted body out of the hollow? That will secure a generous compensation package for my daughter.
Oh good, so your daughter will have plenty of money, but no mom. And probably no one to take care of her, really. So, sounds like a good plan.
It's only what the Ravenlocks owe me. A pity, yes.
Her daughter's gonna be Nicole 2.0.
It's the only way I can squeeze it out of them.
Just constantly broke. And then giving her daughter more burden. Yeah, like that's...
What makes you think that
wild.
I just trust you will. I'm just awfully sorry you had to get involved in this.
Like, I get it. If you're gonna die anyway, better die and leave her with money. But like...
I have to give her a chance at life.
I mean, I guess she wouldn't be able to be like, here, you take care of my daughter, because then they know she's planning on dying, and that would void the life insurance policy. But like, what? Her daughter just ends up going to like a foster home now or something?
If it's okay, could you also please pass a message to Mira for me? Tell her, don't worry. Even if Mommy's body is corrupted, withers away, and turns to dust, my love for you will always be there.
Jesus Christ, lady. Don't say it like that. Like, you can tell a little kid, like, hey, even if your mom is gone, she'll always love you. But don't be like, even though your mom shriveled up, died, turned to dust, and is now in hell, she loves you. Like, what the fuck?
Thank you. You're a good kid.
Going off what we know about Kaleda and her agent story, her daughter will probably encounter Belobog trying to stop that evil principal again. That would be cool. I'm always down to see more Belobog, and we kind of haven't seen anything of them since their chapter. Other than, like, they showed up for a second in the last one. After saying this, Vivian falls silent for a moment. That is why I was glad Ben showed up for that fishing event. It's cool to see him around doing stuff.
She was betting that we'd help her. So, You were aware of this the whole time?
Assuming the daughter will still go to school, or is even going to school, that is. Now she'll be able to go to, a fancy private school with her millions of dollars.
Yes. Because I saw it.
Vivian falls silent for a moment as if recalling the memory of back when she shed tears in front of Sienna. Wait, she can see the future?
But I've had this ability to see the future since I was a little girl.
What?
But the things I see are always something bad. Plagues, deaths, disasters.
Okay, sure.
That's all I've ever been able to see.
And Trigger's like, I've never been able to see.
It's all that kid's fault!
She's seriously jinxed.
I always try to avoid her. Otherwise, she'll say something rotten that ends up coming true again.
Prophecies, she says. Like she's not the one bringing the bad luck upon us.
It wasn't me. I didn't do anything.
What? This makes no sense at all. Like imagine somebody being like, I see the future and, there's going to be a horrible plague. And they're like, that was probably her fault. I mean, she warned us about it, which means she caused the plague. Like, well, how would that work? I mean, I guess that's what, the Salem witch trials were all about and everything, but, come on, man. It's not like 1601 anymore. I love Trigger's character model, though I wish they kept the exposed ribs, added more character. Oh, I didn't know they changed it.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
What good is saying you're sorry? Things like this keep happening every time you open your mouth.
How unlucky. She shouldn't be here. Nobody wants her around.
If only she would just disappear.
I just wanted to warn you all.
I mean, maybe if she didn't dress like this, people wouldn't think this way, but, because she dresses like a spooky weirdo. It's like that one rat guy from that one Disney movie that saw the future but predicted catastrophes. Oh, yeah, you're talking about Ratatouille. Yeah, that was crazy. No, you're thinking of Encanto.
I'm sorry.
After recounting the stories of her past, Vivian stays silent for a long time. Yeah, that was something I was annoyed about in Encanto too. That entire movie essentially hinges on, Grandma's a bitch and no one will stand up to her. They threw somebody out of the family because he could see the future, and they didn't like the future. It's crazy.
Every time.
Search concept art. It should
Every
show the
time it's
old
the
art with the ribs. Huh. Alright.
In the end, there's nothing I can change. Sometimes I even wonder whether it's me predicting these things, or if my very existence is manifesting these calamities.
Well, if you just stop telling people about it, then they won't know that you have anything to do with it,
Vivian, it's not your fault.
You were just trying to be kind and warn them about impending disasters.
I can tell it's never been easy for you.
I mean, Trigger still has a good section of where her ribs would be exposed. There's just the two straps covering some of them.
Thank you. No matter what. I just hope she finally gets to rest in peace.
What is that? Why are you holding your hands like that?
I hope no misfortune.
Imagine talking to somebody and the whole time you're just doing this for no reason. You're like, yeah, so what would you like for lunch today? We could go to McDonald's, we could get pizza. What are you doing?
Ever happens to anyone.
It made it look like she was just gonna start doing the thing people do with the, bird, Yes, every time a prophecy appears, I can't help but shed tears. I used to wonder if I could just hold back my tears, then maybe these bad things wouldn't happen. But I just can't do it. No matter how hard I try, I just can't. You're being too hard on yourself. Vivian falls silent, seemingly unwilling to continue the topic. Sienna said that the compensation is enough to settle her daughter Mira for life, though it's hard to imagine the notoriously stingy Hartman engaging in such a money-losing business. Are you able to move as Wise? No, I am not. Here's the thing, if she didn't set up, like, a place for Mira to go after she died, whoever ends up in charge of the estate is just going to steal all that money, and Mira will be left with nothing, including family. Actually, there have been rumors that the Ravenlock family had fallen out of favor with Topps for a while now. That's why they're becoming so desperate. Sienna's actually a skilled intelligence broker. I see, no wonder why she was able to gather classified information. She said she tried many ways, but everything was useless. She still couldn't avenge her lover, but I believe everything she said was meaningful. Everyone, it seems there's ethereals. Okay. Darn, they must have patched it.
Do you believe that the future can be changed?
Just wander around in the middle of those talking parts.
It's happened countless times already. Why can I only see these misfortunes?
They don't kill.
Why can't I even have a sliver of happiness?
Look at you.
I don't know, maybe if you stopped dressing spooky and talking spooky and acting spooky, you'd feel a little more cheerful.
Time to focus fire.
Like, you know, be yourself and all that, but also recognize that maybe you're making some of these things happen.
Keep up the... Light him off.
Foxy, the fissure that we're looking for is up ahead.
Adjusting for wind.
Adjusting for wind. Why do you have to adjust for wind? You're firing lightning bolts. Those aren't going to change with the wind.
Loyalty.
Pierce right through. Sniper's Creed. One shot, one kill.
Assassin's Creed is my favorite video game. Time to fight.
Fire support ready. Down strategy.
Ow. You're an asshole.
The target's weary.
On balance, off balance, doesn't matter. I'm better than you. Dude, imagine being one of these enemies and you just get wombo comboed to shit.
We should take that lady out of the hollow.
Trigger's
You guys
original
go on.
design was much, much more skinny, like they constantly starved themselves. Interesting. Alright. Give me a second. I'm gonna look up this other version, because I'm curious. Yeah, I see what you mean. He's much skinnier. Interesting. That's something I always thought was interesting about Attack on Titan. Like, nobody in Attack on Titan is really, whatever you call it. Nobody on Attack on Titan is, like, muscly, you know? They're all really skinny. Because in that world, like, there's no livestock, really. It's hard to get enough food to, like, bulk up, you know?
Thank you. She gave us the intel.
It's cool when stuff like that is part of the lore and not just like, this is just how somebody looks, you know?
I hope everything else goes well for you.
Which, like, some people are just really skinny. That's how I was in high school, but, you know, still. It would make sense for her as a sniper if she had to, like, lay there for days waiting for food or, like, waiting for her target and couldn't eat.
Master Proxy, is there anything you'd like to know? You can just ask.
Yeah, so are you evil, or...
I'm curious about your story, Vivian, but we can talk more once you feel ready. Don't worry, I'm very patient.
You're the first person to ever say that to me. I'd be happy to share my story with you.
I've noticed you have the twin tail drill hairstyle. When you laugh, do you go, oh ho ho ho?
These premonitions I see are not within my control, and they always come to me in a flash, like a flood of images in my mind. Most of the time, I see death, disease, accidents, and disasters. Of course, there are also some non-fatal mutilations.
Of course.
But every time, without exception, they end up happening. And I can never prevent or change them.
Yeah, I mean, if at this point, if they genuinely can't change, if you can't change them and the people can't change them, then yeah, just don't tell people about it, because, like, it's not going to make it easier to get your arm cut off if someone's like, hey, just to let you know, you are going to lose your arm soon. Sucks for you. You know, I wish I could do something, but I can't. It's going to be terrible, by the way. Like, it's not going to be a clean slice. Like, it's, you know, you're trying to ride a horse and a chain gets wrapped around your arm and the horse keeps going. It's a whole mess. Yeah, anyway, watch out for that. Like, I could see why then people would be like, man, this girl sucks. Every time she's around, it's a huge bummer.
That's all I have to say about it. If that offends Master Proxy and you don't want to hang out with me anymore, then I can understand.
Oh, don't worry, I'm hanging out with a literal murderer. Why do I care?
I don't mind at all. That's just who you are, Vivian. I'd like to keep hanging out with you.
I've always considered this ability as a curse.
Wise on his way to try and score another date with the many women of New Eridu.
It's not a curse. Actually, I think you've been given a gift.
I think my favorite change from concept to final is Caesar. Their original design was too much, and the current one's much simpler and better. Yeah, I haven't looked at a lot of the concept art, but it's nice when you get concept art where you're like, I'm glad they changed it, you know? Because a lot of the time you get concept art and you're like, oh, I wish they went with the original concept. It's so much cooler. Not gonna lie, I thought he said that's who you are, idiot. That's who you are, baka.
Thank you. Really. Well, it's getting late. Bringer's belongings ought to be around here somewhere. Let's take a closer look.
Oh. Somebody wasn't finished dissolving. What? Found it, the vending machine. Bringer's belongings are probably stashed away in there. Why? That's the intel I got. Okay.
Looks like it isn't in here.
Well, yeah, if anybody ever wanted a tea, an Aristona tea, well, that's funny. Arizona teas are delicious. And still only 99 cents, which is crazy. I wish Caesar had more muscle in her final design. Yeah, it would be nice if they had like a muscle lady somewhere in here. The fact that she's like this, you know, tank bandit person, you'd think she would be stronger. Was that a cat? Thought I heard a cat. Okay. Search the vending machine. Nothing.
Strange. There's nothing in here.
Yeah, I mean, if he just put it in there and then, like, somebody ordered a tea, it probably just came out and they took it. You know? The small crown she has now is like 10 times the size in the original art. Same with her shield. Yet her clothes is half as censored. Same as Evelyn. I think she also needed a bit of muscles. Yeah, Evelyn, I could see why they went slender, because that's kind of a, you know, the femme fatale thing. They're always these suave, like, thin, red dress ladies. So, I could see why they went that way for Evelyn, but Caesar seems like she should have been muscly. You kick the vending machine by accident. Where a drink would normally roll out, a worn-out notebook appears instead. Alright. Wise is literally just Fonzie of New Eridu. He kicks the machine and he's like, "Hey!" And then the notebook pops out.
This is it. This notebook is what Bringer left behind. But I don't know what these markings on it mean.
You and Vivian flip through Bringer's notebook together, ignoring the surrounding danger for some time, till the shriek of an ethereal suddenly rings out. However, a moment later, a strange yet familiar figure materializes to block the ethereal.
Well, hello, Master Proxy. It's been a while.
Has it been a while? It's been like a few hours, maybe. Hugo just got hit. Skill issue, man. Piper's original design was way more cute, like an actual trucker girl instead of a young grandmother. Yeah, Piper's weird because I feel like they could have done more with her to suggest that she is like actually one of the older people of the cast. But even then, she's what, like 30 something? Like
Oh, don't give me that scandalized look. I did just save your life.
Hugo gang. Hugh gang. Hugh gang, rise up.
I would have protected the Proxy even if you hadn't appeared.
Glad Harumasa got a new barber after his concept art. Did he used to have the Rock Lee bowl cut?
I'm sure of it, but I happen to be in the area. Worry not, dear companion. I have complete confidence in your strength.
Hang on. Did you say companion? So you two know each other?
Apologies. I didn't have a chance to mention it before.
See, if I were Wise, I would be like, "Hey, Hugo, just wondering, Lycon did say you killed your parents. What's that about? 'Cause, like, it's a little weird for me to be your friend if you murdered your parents."
I'm actually part of the Phantom Thief Syndicate, Mockingbird.
That's right. I was only able to slip in during the auction thanks to some help from Vivian backstage.
Wise is like, "What? She's working with you? I would never have guessed. You both entered my life at exactly the same time and dress very similar and have the same vibe. Crazy."
So the whole time you were only bidding on the collections so you could get backstage and tamper with things?
I warned you before. You can't rely on appearances.
Can't you, though? 'Cause Hugo looks exactly like the kind of person I would expect to do that.
Don't worry, Master Proxy. We don't have any ulterior motives here.
It's like seeing a guy dressed in basketball clothes, holding a basketball on a court and being like, "Well, you can't judge by appearances. That guy probably, maybe he plays basketball, but who knows?"
As you've probably heard, Mockingbird is a renowned Phantom Thieves syndicate in New Eridu that, despite its longevity, has
Yes, it's
managed to maintain
renowned.
the secrecy of its members' identities to this day.
That's not that impressive when everyone in New Eridu can be fooled by just putting on some glasses.
So, disclosing our identities to you is essentially the highest sign of good faith that a Mockingbird Phantom Thief can show.
But Lycon said that you're very dangerous, and we should be careful.
Then I imagine he's also told you about some of our past. And I'm sure you know that in a complex situation like ours, you shouldn't listen to either side over the other.
No, I don't think that's how that works. Being like, it's complex. I murdered some innocent people. Lycon is mad about it. Clearly, they're the same.
Mockingbird's purpose is very simple, really. To form long-standing and cooperative relationships with outstanding proxies, like yourself.
Criminal by Britney Spears starts playing. When he and Lycon are on screen, they got that toxic yaoi going. We playing toxic instead.
We need your abilities.
Before you make any decisions, please allow me to briefly explain the concept behind the Mockingbird
So we're still missing a member for the Sons of Caledon. Huh.
We all know there isn't anything in this world that's fair. A prime example being the uneven distribution of wealth. People from tops splurge on luxurious collectibles, while the poor have to gamble with their own lives just to get by.
Sure.
Of course, besides wealth, there's also an unequal distribution in this world of happiness and suffering, hope and despair, love and hate. It's all just so unfair. Somebody has to do something to tilt the balance of the scales.
Which is why I steal from the rich and then kill some people.
And thus Mockingbird was born. We take from those who have far more than they deserve and give it to those who deserve to have more. If you ask me, that's enough to be considered a form of justice.
I mean, if you learn how to hack, you could probably just wipe out medical debt, you know, destroy mortgages, things like that. And that would help a lot of people.
All right, that makes sense. I can agree with that.
Thank you. I knew if anyone, you'd understand.
Yeah, I agree with that part. I don't necessarily agree with you being the arbiter of who gets to live and die.
However, aside from these philosophical considerations, we also have a crisis on our hands to deal with.
I don't think Hugo knows what justice is. He has a generally fairly good idea of justice. But where it seems to fail is that it really only applies to what he considers correct. But that's not how justice should be, really. It's supposed to be objective. And he's like, I don't like some of these people. I'll kill them.
As you know, the Exaltists are plotting to use the power of sacrifice to launch an attack on all of New Eridu. We can provide you with all the latest intel, just like that notebook you found. And the most crucial part of this whole
Just
game,
ice, he said, and starts slashing everything with his scythe.
is currently in my possession.
Yeah, that's
I think that makes this a highly competitive deal.
that's what we're misunderstanding. He's not saying justice, he's saying just ice, because he uses ice-style attacks.
We share the same goal for the moment, stopping the impending disaster from playing out.
Yeah, but then what happens after that?
How about this? If you still have misgivings about our upcoming cooperation, then why don't you bring Lycon along with you? He's got the support of the mayor's office behind him, and his presence alone is enough to keep me in check. That would put you more at ease, right?
Bro, that coin he's holding is thick as fuck. That's not, like, that's not even a coin. That's like a coaster.
Of course, you're welcome to bring some other friends along, provided they aren't from public security or HSO.
But what if I want them to be?
Well, if you're willing to let my friends come along, then you've got a deal.
Great. It's a deal. By the way, Proxy, this is for you.
Kind of like $1. Yeah, it's like $1 coin if $1 coin was like double the thickness. Fancy collectible.
Consider it a souvenir commemorating our first time working together.
For now, we'll carefully look through the contents of that notebook. I'll contact you if anything comes up.
Wait, I'm giving you the notebook? I thought I was supposed to take that back to Zhu Yuan and Miyabi. This seems like a bad deal, to be honest. I'm gonna get in trouble. I get to walk around. Keep the hand in the pocket. What if I walk... Oh, if I walk slow enough, he keeps his hand in his pocket. Like a cool guy who's so annoying about the way he wears his jacket. Since we're already at the video store, should we ask Master Proxy to recommend some films? My apologies, but I need to leave. I also need a convenient social identity. The title of gallery owner works quite well. Alright, I'll stay with Master Proxy for a bit longer. But Hugo, you've been oddly busy lately. You're not hiding something from me, are you? He's like, you're not hiding something, are you? Notorious liar. I'm playing through the flashback of a few minutes ago. Whoa, what's up, dude? This guy looks like he lives in LA. Give me some scissors, I need to cut off that ponytail. Not a fan of the rat tail. I used to wear a jacket like that in elementary. I mean, I said it the last time, I think it's cool to wear a jacket as a cape. I think it's cool to wear a jacket as a jacket. I think it's fucking dumb to wear it one sleeve on, one sleeve off. That just seems annoying. Done as promised, I've already found buyers. I've also recommended your gallery, but getting rid of all this exquisite stuff so suddenly. You're not in trouble, are you? If you have funding issues, I'm your guy. Doing fine, just looking to boost the gallery. It's getting late. Okay. Rena's original design was pretty creepy. She used to have puppets instead of Bang Boo, and they used to be chained to her. Ooh. That sounds cool, though. Time to find that guy. I mean, I like a good asymmetrical design, but not like this. Find the well-dressed informant. He's casual, so not him. Well, I do think they all have a decent fit, but this guy seems like the one they would call well-dressed. When the musician's third string breaks, the gatekeeper whispers to me in which hand hides the coin for the underworld ferryman. The left hand holds death, the right hand holds deception, but the raven's already flown away with the answer. 7 ads? Jesus. Wait, why do you have ads in the first place? Oh, no, Remnant has the ads, okay. That makes sense. Because I was like, Shantae, you're a subscriber, you shouldn't have ads. That's crazy, those 7 ads. Jesus. Raid incoming. I don't know what you're talking about, but alright. The meeting with Hartman's been scheduled. He'll be waiting for you in that same private suite. Or should I say waiting for Hugo, the renowned collector and gallery owner. Dude's using his same name as his disguise. Yo! Alice! Thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. Everybody, if you are not already following her, Alice Himura, the voice, I mean, she is nice, but the voice of, Nekomata, among other cool characters. She's always playing fun stuff. She's a very cool person. Go follow her. And yeah, thank you. Welcome in, Raiders. Appreciate it. Nekomata hunting for your 50/50s. Kara Power and Marshall Fu Hua, thank you both for following. Appreciate it. Have fun on stream. I'm gonna go rest. Yes, go rest up. Thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot. And yeah, get some snacks, get some drinks. Whatever you guys need to do. Thanks a lot. You know, we're gonna be continuing with the story here. But yeah. Everybody, like I said, go follow Alice if you don't already. And yeah. Hopefully someday soon we'll be able to go to a con together, meet, and hang out. I'm looking forward to it. Machine Mac, thank you for following. And all the new people for coming in, thank you. Tia, Yoshiko, and Revelt, thank you all. Alright. We're gonna get back into this here. And if I say I am, not like I can stop you anyway. You've already caused a scene at the auction. That robe of heroes stunt. I can't believe you came up with that. Hartman's been on the move lately. That organ trafficking case from before is linked to him too. I also heard they're dropping big money on some kind of drug research. The Ravenlocks have always been a bunch of cold-blooded bastards, doing all kinds of messed up things that make your blood boil, and swept everything under the rug with money and power, leaving the victims with no justice. But Hartman, he's the worst of the bunch. Rumor says that he personally took out the previous heir and clawed his way to the throne. I know. Relax, I don't plan on clashing with him head-on. You'd better not. Head-on, apply directly to the forehead. You know what those words mean, right? They're sacred. I don't want to witness Mockingbird's folly of trying to crack a stone with an egg. Do you guys remember that? Head on? That's the weirdest thing that I remember from my childhood, that they genuinely were advertising a product that you would rub on your forehead to prevent headaches. And it was literally just wax. Like, years later, there was a lawsuit because they were like, yeah, it's literally just a wax stick. Like, it's a glue stick, basically. It doesn't do anything. Since I'm not providing a service on book now, what is an example of what I could say for book now? I don't understand the question. What an ad, man. Oh yeah, I mean, it's a good ad. I still remember it. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. I never knew anyone who actually used it, but can never win an argument against you anyway. Don't forget, the Ravenlock family's in bed with those Exaltist lunatics. Who knows what awful scheme they've been cooking up. In any case, as your old friend, I sincerely wish you all the best. Thank you. By the way, how's Lycon doing lately? Haven't seen him in a while. What? I know you two split up, but it's been years. Are you still not over it? Don't know, don't care. I remember Head On. That commercial's stuck in my head. I mean, that's That's kind of what they wanted you to do with the product, really. Just stick it in your head.
If there's nothing else, I'll get going now.
Alright, fine. Good luck. The students nearby seem to be having an intense discussion. You hear a familiar name. So that Mockingbird Phantom Thieves Syndicate only looks flashy, but hasn't actually accomplished anything, right? Tops remains unshakable, and those big families are just a step away from getting total control. It's possible even the mayor can't keep him in check. But doesn't the mere existence of the Mockingbird serve as some kind of warning? Every time they release a crime warning letter, fear erupts among these evildoers. Really? But what can they actually change? In the end, it's probably just a game. What do you think should happen? If you ask me, you have to dismantle everything from within if you truly want change. Without power or influence, it's all futile. The first step should be accumulating resources by any means necessary, and if possible, joining Tops. Website still in progress. Yeah, I mean, you know, just keep working on the website. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't sure exactly what you were asking. Otherwise, I'll try and give you an answer. After all, to establish a new order, the old one must be demolished, just like how creation requires destruction. That sounds exactly like something a villain would say. And Hugo's over there like, yeah, no, this kid's making a lot of good points. If it's really possible to join Tops, many would probably defect immediately. True, who would turn down money? It's almost time for the meeting with Hartman. Time to go. Alright. Your invitation has been confirmed. Arrogant man. You the one who has business with Mr. Hartman? Master Hartman's time is extremely valuable, and he's graced you with this meeting amid his busy schedule. I sincerely hope you bring something substantial to the family.
Worry not. I stand here precisely because I have enough leverage.
You'd better. Can I still audition regardless if the website needs time? Yeah, you can still audition for things. For sure. Now where did his goofy hat go? His goofy hat? Who, Hugo, or did this guard have a weird hat? Yo, what's up, Smitzel? Welcome in.
How about it? Will you work with me?
Not bad. Let me be honest with you. I have the sacrifice core that you're after.
This guy's voice baffles me so much because he looks like he should be like 30, but he's got the voice of like a 60-year-old man.
I am Mockingbird.
Hugo had a goofy hat. I was too absorbed in hating the rat tail to notice it was missing. Fair enough.
So it's you. I never thought you'd be so bold as to come see me alone.
What if the rat tail was part of the hat? You know, like he pulls it off and the rat tail just goes with it? Like one of those Rastafarian hats that just has the dreadlocks in it?
Relax, my friend. As you know, if I can sneak into such a heavily guarded auction, then naturally, I can just as easily slip away right now.
Yeah, Geo, you can still audition if your website needs time. You know, as long as they're not asking for, like... I mean, well, you have a demo, so you can submit demos. Yeah, you can audition. Throwing the hat off a building, then. Well, you have to get it from him first. I hope that after they release Hugo and Vivian, they release uninteresting agents so I can save for the rest of Obel Squad, because I know they're going to make the last 2 agents release in a single update, and I don't have polychromes for both. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't I don't know. I don't think I want to pull for Vivian or Hugo, probably. I might pull for Trigger. But other than that, I don't know.
I'm here with the sincere intention to seek cooperation. I can give you that sacrifice core.
Most of the people that I'm interested in pulling for are like the other Void Hunters, because they all look super cool. Someone put me on your shoulders so I can reach Hugo's hat.
And what do you want in return?
If I put you on my shoulders, I mean, I don't know how tall you are, but you'd probably, we'd end up being like 11 feet tall together, so that would be probably a bigger problem. Yo, Ponzi Q9, thank you for following. Appreciate ya.
Wealth,
I'm interested in the other two members of Obel. They sound super cool.
the things everyone else in the world wants. I want them too.
I don't think I've seen any of the other members yet. There's a Tiger Thyron. Now I won't be able to reach him. Well, what we'll do is put you on my shoulders and then swing you down, and on the way down you can slap it off his head.
And I'm confident that as the current heir to the Ravenlock family, those are all things you can give me.
That coin is so fucking thick, dude. It weirds me out.
Then you've certainly come to the right place.
Like, it's not a coin. He has like a bronze medal from the Olympics in his hand.
My family is working on a big project. If things come to fruition, Ravenlock's status in Tops will significantly improve. At which point, I'll
Hugo
be sure
VA
to leave
performance.
a spot for you.
Yeah.
Naturally, as an outsider, you're precluded from handling any of our core business. But profits from the scraps alone will be enough to set you up for life.
Yeah, I mean, Hugo's VA is doing an amazing job. Everybody in the game, it sounds amazing. So, doesn't surprise me that he sounds great, but he does indeed do a good job. Alawuongo? Alawuongo? Is that it? Thank you for following. Or is it Aluwongo, perhaps? Yeah, that one. Okay, Aluwongo. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
Mr. Hartman, I think you've misunderstood me. I have no intention of joining the Ravenlock family.
ZZZ voice acting's always been peak. I think it also helps that they're really focusing on like the style and personality of the characters too. Like from a design standpoint, you can tell they're putting a lot of effort into it. 'Cause like, you know, somebody can be doing an amazing job of voice acting, but if they're on like a really bland, boring character, it's gonna hit a little bit less, you know? And kind of on the other hand of that, like, if you have a really well-designed character and someone's not doing a very good job, it feels like it's way worse in the VO than it actually is, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of how I feel about it.
In fact, I have an art gallery under my name that does pretty well for itself. I was hoping you could recommend me for Tops.
You want to join Tops? That's easier said than done. Even for a family like ours, it would still require significant effort and...
Just answer me yes or no. I don't think either of us can afford to waste time.
Right, it probably is because it's the same VA from 1.0. Hugo? Wait, was Hugo in 1.0? Amber Lee Connors does a great job directing. Yeah, all of the directors I've had for this game have been fantastic. Michael Schwalbe, Amber Lee Connors, and Molly Zhang all have been fantastic at directing. Wasn't he in Lycon's quest? That's what it was. Yeah, I didn't play it in 1.0 because I didn't have Lycon until way later. So that would make sense. He wasn't voiced, though? Oh. It's like every division, design / voice must give their all, including gameplay / combat. Yeah. Damn. I just heard thunder from out there, which is crazy because I'm in the basement inside my booth, and I heard the thunder, so the storm has definitely gotten here. For those who are just joining us, there's a tornado watch near where I live, so it's pretty cool. Honestly, the best voices are Lucy, Billy, Kaleda, and Harumasa. I definitely love Billy and Kaleda out of those specifically. Kaleda's incredible. Played by Katie Cofield. Fantastic. The storm that is approaching. Indeed. Mr. Mole and Tin Master has the same English VA, Tim Heller. Yeah, he did a great job. Either way, good thing our boy Benry did a good job. Honestly, I'm happy to be in the same game as such amazing people. Like, the fact that I'm, like, even considered to be standing with some of these incredible voice actors is huge for me.
I understand. Yes, you have my word. But in exchange, you'll have to give me the sacrifice core first.
A little salty about the Lucy recast. Yeah, I mean, I have not enjoyed any of the recasts. I don't like the recasts, but it is what it is. Do you have DPS Ben built? I've built Ben to the best of my ability. He is max upgraded, max everything. His Wenjin is maxed out. All of the discs are maxed out. So, yeah, my Ben is pretty strong.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I can't. I've already hidden it somewhere safe. A place nobody else but me knows.
I think 1.3 Sokaku was an improvement. I personally liked Sokaku's original voice the best. It had a lot of personality to it, instead of the same just boring, like, little kid voice. The fact that it had some kind of grit to it, I thought was really cool and interesting. But, you know, that being said, I don't think any of the people who are doing the recast voices are, like, doing a bad job. Like, I don't think they're bad voices or anything. I just have not gotten... I've not heard a recast yet that I thought was genuinely an improvement, and they've pretty much all been for reasons that are not actually performance-based, which just by default makes me be like, these recasts are kind of shit, you know? But I don't blame the voice actors, and I don't think any of them are doing a bad job, you know?
You don't want to put all your chips on the table when dealing with Tops. I know that far too well.
This and Persona have some of my favorite EN voice acting. Yeah, Persona's great.
Then that means I also need to keep an eye out when working with the infamous Mockingbird, right?
Mr. Hartman, I should remind you that I stand before you undisguised. Coming from a phantom thief who's never publicly revealed his identity, shouldn't that be sufficient assurance? If I betray you, then you merely need to lift a finger to wipe me from the face of this world.
Hugo, that only matters if he can prove that you're part of Mockingbird. Otherwise, he'll be like, hey, this guy's part of Mockingbird, and everyone will be like, nah.
You do make a valid point there. In that case, you have a deal.
It is interesting you guys are talking about the, like, combat versus not combat, Because that was a thing with the All-Star Battle version of Josuke in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He sounded a lot kind of more gruff and like angry sort of thing. And then when the anime for part 4 came out, people were like, "Oh, they recast Josuke. That sucks. He sounded so good." But it was one of those situations where I was like, the old Josuke sounded better when it was combat and angry and that kind of stuff. But then in the show, it fit better when he was just like goofing around and not fighting, you know? So it's interesting. I'm not a casting director, but that's like a science all on its own. Is like, how do you find the perfect blend of out of combat plus in combat, you know? Cuz for some people the combat part's not going to be as good as the out of combat and vice versa, you know? Ideally you find the one person who gets all of it, you know? But easier said than done.
Appreciate your trust.
Why don't we celebrate our new partnership with a toast?
Hartman calls over the waiter and pours out 2 glasses of some expensive-looking deep crimson liquid. It's weird. They couldn't just say it was wine, you know? He lifts his glass and nods to Hugo before draining it. Hugo flashes a smug grin and takes a gulp.
Having a drink before undertaking anything important is a family tradition. It's good luck.
Plus, people get attached to some of the voices when you just change them like that. It's hard. Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you hear, like, a character's voice for the first time, that's how you're gonna hear it. Which I think is why a lot of people are like, I'll only listen to things or I'll only watch, like, anime in Japanese, because once they hear something in Japanese, it's really weird to hear it in English, and vice versa. But, yeah. Not gonna lie, I hate to say it, but since Kaleda and Grace still haven't gotten voice lines for the most recent content, I have a feeling they'll be replaced, which saddens me, especially with how good Kaleda's VA is. Yeah, I mean, I can't really say anything about it, whether I think that's likely or unlikely or what. I can't really speculate. But I really hope we're done with all the recasts, because, I mean, it really wears away my enthusiasm for the game every time somebody gets recast. It just sucks, you know, it's not fun. It makes me not want to play it, you know? But I'm trying to keep playing it and enjoy it, so hopefully it's not something I have to worry about again.
As an outsider, it's a real honor.
By the way, you aren't the only member of your organization, are you? Shouldn't all your companions agree to this deal first?
You don't have to worry about that. I'll make sure she agrees. Otherwise, I'll get rid of her too.
Oh.
Seems you'll do whatever it takes to get things done. Great things lie ahead for someone like you. All right, let's leave it at that for today. I'll contact you about what to do next.
One thing I hate in anime dubs in Brazilian, they keep the names of the attacks in Japanese. Interesting. I mean, sometimes they do that in American anime. It kind of just depends. Like, in Bleach, they pretty much always just keep them in the same language. Like, he says Getsuga Tensho or Senbon Zakura, you know, stuff like that. And I think it works in Bleach. But there's definitely some attacks that I feel, I don't know. I think it depends on the vibe of the show, you know? Like, I think it works in Bleach, but yeah, like you're saying, in Dragon Ball Z, I feel like the English version makes better sense. We have Genki Dama instead of Spirit Bomb. All I know is if they replace Anton or the cunning-haired VAs, there are going to be riots. I mean, I would think so, but also people adapt to anything, and as much as fans of something like to believe, they're willing to like totally give something up for it. Every time I've seen somebody be like, let's boycott Hoyo games or let's boycott Crunchyroll or whatever, it never works because people don't want to give up their favorite thing, you know? So people would probably be upset for a little bit and then they'll be recast and it'll move on, you know? Which is unfortunate. Like, I wish it wasn't like that, but it is the way it works. Doesn't make sense in the middle of the conversation. It would be weird, yeah.
That's him! He's the one who killed Serena!
Alejandro's back. He's not being recast. Yeah, well, this was theoretical.
She was the only one who was ever any good to him, right? That's how he repays her?
That's why they say once a mongrel, always a mongrel. Just look into his eyes.
That voice sounds so familiar. I feel like I've seen... Oh my god, there's like an anime character that really reminds me of that voice, but I can't place it.
Father! We have to punish him!
Same VA as Miyabi. Oh! That might be it. Killua, yeah. Yeah, it sounds like Killua. That makes sense.
Serena had been ranking ahead of him. Hugo must have poisoned her water so he could pass her.
Pure evil. Typical for an impure bloodline.
That's...
He should have been kicked out ages ago.
That definitely sounds like Killua.
Hugo, did you do all this?
Yes, it was me. I killed her.
He admitted it! Father, he must be expelled!
He has no right
I mean,
to
I've
live
never
under the
spent
same
money on
roof as
Genshin,
us.
so it was easy to boycott. Yeah, I don't know. The thing that I feel like people don't understand with the boycotts for some of these things, like, people are like, just don't spend your money, but play and talk about the new stuff in Genshin, and I was like, that's not a boycott then. Because, like, they still make money off of the publicity that you're giving them by playing and talking about it, you know?
Why don't we reunite him with Serena then? Nobody would ever know.
Hugo, well done.
Don't make me remember the Google Glass fiasco.
My children, how many times have I told you before? In this world, only the most ruthless, cruel, and unscrupulous of people ever make it to the top. Like Hugo here, who was willing to murder his only true loved one without a second thought. Only someone with the means and the gumption to do that is qualified to be my heir.
But I...
Reputation's one of, if not the most important thing a game has. Lose all your rep and you're dead in the water. Yeah, I can see that. It's definitely true.
It's all over now, and the results are obvious. The winner of this month's assessment is Hugo. As for the rest of you, go to the usual place for the punishment you deserve.
But Father! Before this, I was #1.
As I've told you before, there's only room for one winner in this family. You're still a loser, even if it's by the smallest margin. And there's no reason for a loser to exist. This is all for your own good. Do you understand? Go on now. Receive your punishment for the sake of the family.
Yes, I understand. I'm sorry.
Wait, so who did he kill? He killed somebody and his dad was like sick. Yeah, being free to play isn't changing anything. That's why I always looked at the Genshin fan base weird. They're already in too deep. They feel like they've spent too much time or money to stop playing. Yeah, I mean, whatever it's called, it's not the gambler's fallacy. Something like that. It's the something fallacy. Sunk cost, that's it. Thank you, Lurkin. Yeah, the sunk cost fallacy. You've invested so much time that instead of just walking away, you're willing to invest more time so that you don't feel like you've wasted your time, you know? Okay, so it was his sister. Alright. Yeah, that's a bummer. What did you think of Vivian's backstory? Not bad. You know, I do find it weird that she can just see the future. It feels a little weird that it's just something she can do, but you know, I think it's cool.
That really brought up some unpleasant memories.
It's just sad to see a game or people you like fall like that. Yeah.
It won't be long. Soon, it'll all be over.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I stopped reading new manga when it would come out or watching new anime, because, like, after investing so much time into, like, anime and manga that just sucked by the end, I'm like, look, I don't need to bother with starting that shit. I'll let it go for a few years before I decide to get in, you know? Like, Naruto ended badly, and I didn't enjoy it for a lot of it before then. A lot of the stuff in Shippuden, I was like, it's not that good. You know, Bleach ended badly, which that one's fair, because Kubo was, like, literally killing himself to write it, so he was just trying to end it as quick as possible. So that sucked. My Hero Academia started off strong and then also started to suck as I was so like same with like Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail didn't even start off that good and then it sucked for a lot of it. So I'm like, I don't know. Now I'll just wait for something to be done before I jump into it, you know. I read a lot of Shonen Jump that got axed. Some of them were genuinely promising. Oh yeah, I mean, Shonen Jump is the king of, like, we'll give something like 14 chapters, and if it's not gigantic, we destroy it. Hope we get to the end of Hunter Cross Hunter. Me too. That's, if I could pick one thing to absolutely be sure I get the ending of, with no weird cuts, no shortening of it, no shenanigans, it would be Hunter Cross Hunter. It's like the best written shonen of all time, and it's so unfortunate that it's also one of the slowest. Well, truth is, we've always wanted the chance to work with you. Hugo said you're the best proxy he's ever met. The chosen proxy, in other words, chosen one. By the way, are you free? If you're not busy, would you mind taking a walk? Yeah, I guess. You arrive at Luminous Square. That's weird to drive to the square to have a walk instead of just like going outside and walking down the street.
Thank you for escorting me here, Proxy.
You got it.
You're a child that only brings misfortune. People have been saying that about me for a long time.
She's got kind of a Nico Robin sort of backstory. I don't even know what that is.
If I could predict happy things, joyful things, would people like me a little more?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, probably.
Fate truly is set in stone. Often, I want to help these people avoid their miserable fates. For a time, I even thought that I was successful, that I could change people's destiny.
They didn't calculate the pacing of the conversation with the time to walk there. Yeah, they've not been doing well with that.
An illusion, in the end.
I don't know why they
Do anything at all.
suddenly switched to this type of dialogue. I know most people have not enjoyed
I
it.
was really happy when you said that my abilities weren't a curse, but a gift.
Jesus, what a dramatic turn. I guess that's the benefit of doing this kind of cutscene.
Proxy. I'm so glad to have met you. And you're also a fan of Lord Phaethon. It's like we were fated to meet.
Huh?
I don't know why, but I feel completely at ease when I'm by your side. I feel like I'm free
She's
from
like
judgment,
Cassandra from
from
Greek
blame.
mythology. Oh, yeah. The pause is a little unnatural.
I don't need to worry about anything.
Yeah, the pacing of this could be a little better. I think it comes from they probably want to leave the text up on the screen for people to read it.
Just so happen to be extremely
But in order to do that, the audio has to be just silent for a second.
By the way, you asked me before about Hugo. I don't really know much about him. He rarely ever talks about his past. But judging from his eye colors, you can guess he's probably the bastard son of a renowned family.
Don't you have the same eye color as him?
I think his mother was very worried about his different colored eyes, and even wanted to get rid of him at one point.
Oh, I guess it's because he has
Then his family
heterochromia.
offered a huge price and bought him off his mother for some reason.
My bastard. My little bastard.
And just like that, he moved from a leaky and drafty boarding room to a luxurious mansion. But he's also mentioned that the extravagant home is actually like hell for him. I think it's probably because the family treats him terribly. I
Yeah.
digress. He ran away and ended up meeting Lycon and his master. After that, they formed Mockingbird together and experienced a rare period of happiness. Until Lycon's betrayal.
Hugo has homophobia. That's right. His pretty eyes.
So, what's your take on Hugo?
I imagine I would still be wandering around now if I had never met him. To me, Hugo is just like an older brother.
It's also wild for her to just be like, oh, you know, Lycon's betrayal. Like, what a weird thing to say. You don't even know Lycon.
I've always felt as though he's carrying some heavy burden with him. But
He started
that's a
talking about
secret he's kept to
personas or
himself.
something.
Something he'll never tell me.
My favorite part of Persona 5 is when the main character goes, hey, I'm Persona, and Persona's all over the place.
Sometimes when I look into his eyes, I can feel that he's really struggling with something. Even though he may say some extreme things, Hugo really isn't a bad person. I think one day he'll tell me his secret. Until then, I just have to wait.
I can fix him.
Trust him.
You're gonna get murdered. After chatting for a while, you say goodnight. It's getting late. Time to head back to the video store. Man, this story is super long. You guys weren't kidding. Yo, Meek Guy is moist. Thank you for following. Appreciate ya. Hugo was Joker Persona all along. God damn, it's John Persona. Wise, you're a bit late. Yeah. It's such a weird thing to come home and your sister's like, hey, it's getting late, you should go to bed. Like, don't tell me what to do. We're the same age. Besides her, Hugo and Lycon and B will also be joining. Yeah, okay. Does have Joker's Japanese VA. Pretty crazy. Ah. I didn't know that. That sounds like Morgana. Dude, Morgana pissed me off so much playing Persona 5. Oh my god. I've ranted about it before, so I'm not gonna go back into it. Just like, you're a cat. I don't have to listen to you. Get out of my fucking house. Long story short, we analyze the locations. Hugo suspects we might find something stashed at the coordinates. In any case, we need to investigate ballet twins. Okay. I'm a Morgana defender. There is no defense for why a cat could tell a high schooler to go to bed. Like, bro, I'm in high school. I can stay up late. That's part of what I'm supposed to do. Can't tell me to fucking go to bed when my stats depend on me playing video games and stuff like that. Come on.
It appears we're the first to arrive. I thought we were running late.
How much longer would you guys say there is to this story? Like, are we almost at the end, or like, do I still have another couple hours to go?
This might sound weird.
25% left.
It's nice to think about getting to work with you from now on.
You're pretty much at the end, like 30 minutes. Okay, these are all very different answers. Okay, well, that makes it, I'd say right up to an hour. You guys have made it impossible for me to figure out. Oh my god.
I don't really know why that makes me feel so happy. Oh!
30 minutes to an hour. Alright. Okay, so it's between 25%, 30 minutes, 1 hour, or a few hours.
It's because we're
But, okay.
Anyone who likes Lord
Alright.
Faithan can't be a bad
I'll
guy.
assume we don't have that much longer, and I'll try to finish it tonight.
You're right.
Hour and a half at this rate, you take a lot more time because of chat. It just keeps getting longer. I don't know what to do. Okami1001, thank you for following. I appreciate that.
Of course, Lord Faithan is the greatest there will ever be, but you're definitely the best proxy I've ever met in person.
Let's see. Well, I do have to get up early tomorrow for a recording session. So, I don't want to stream super extra late, but
Hugo told me before that
we'll
you're
try.
really skilled, and he said we'd get along great.
I'll try to get through it.
Expected he'd be so right.
I'll try to get through it, and I'll see if we can make it happen.
Oh, by the way, would you like to come by my place if you have time later? I have a huge collection of Lord Faithan merch.
Faithan, Lord Faithan doesn't have any merch out there, right? I mean, we don't even know what he looks like, for
I
starters.
recommend calling it. Okay.
It's all my own original merch, like screenshots of old internet comments. I print them out and turn them into postcards. Plus the avatars Lord Faithan's used, the music playlists they recommend. I've organized it all.
All right. Here's what we'll do. I'm going to start a poll. We're just gonna keep it simple. Vote vote in the poll for what you want to happen. Because if we've got another hour and a half or what have you, we could always save it, and then next time I can also do some of the like battle tower or something. We haven't done anything of that for a while. But we'll see. Felices? Is that it? Is it like a Greek name? Felices, thank you for following. Appreciate that.
I'd love to show it all
Thank you
to
very
you if we
much.
get the chance.
Also, yeah, it's crazy to be like...
Curious to see all that. Please be sure to show me.
It's crazy to be like, yo, I've got this awesome Faith in merch, but not say that you're the one who made it, because, like, it doesn't exist anywhere else. Another stream would be better. There's still a lot of dialogue left and a boss battle.
Splendid! Let's book a time and you can come by my place and see all my Lord Faith and merch. Thanks a lot.
Maybe it's for the best that I didn't maybe it's for the best that I didn't tell her that I'm Faithin. Or I guess I told her but she didn't believe me, cuz she might kill me. She might cut me up and turn me into a lamp. Cibeton Court 03, thank you for following. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Just looked at a non-commentary VOD of the 1.6, and this part of the video has 1 hour left. Yeah, that is...
Hugo said he had some preparations to do before entering the Hollow.
Another stream has won, with 60% of the vote. Alright, then we'll finish this dialogue, we'll raid out, and we'll call it a night. Thank you all for the voting. That does help.
Same old routine. Shopping first. About time to stock up on chocolate anyway.
Alright. Let's head on over here. Yeah, thank you all so much. All of the raiders who came in and stuck around. Very much appreciated. Once again, if you're not following Alice, go follow her. And yeah, thank you all so much. Let's find somebody to raid. All right. Oh yeah, the battery. I do have a lot of battery. Got a suggestion for raid. Okay, what's the suggestion? Rion? Or Ryan, perhaps? Let's see. It's just Rion. There's no... Because there's one that's CR Rion, then there's Rion M. What is this? It's 2 underscores after his name. All right. Any particular reason to raid this person, or I see some people were mentioning other VA streamers. I don't know if anyone's on. He's also playing ZZZ. Okay. Let me see. All right. Well, I appreciate the suggestion, but I see another person that I think I want to try rating instead. Yeah. All right. Here we go. All right. Yeah, thank you all once again. Very much appreciated. Really, it's, it's been kind of rough with all the recast stuff, and I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to, play this and have a good time, but you guys have made it a fun time and helped me keep it going. So, yeah, thank you all so much for being here, and Friday we'll be finishing it, theoretically. I thought today we'd finish it, but turns out I'm a little slow on it. So, all right, thank you all so much, and I will see you Friday.